Glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash.
I want to say double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and our Shalom, wa Kasayim, wa Barakim, peace, mercy, and blessings unto all the hopeful elect out there,
Right.
unto the sincere Akim, unto the Zaquanian, wa Akim, the rest of the brotherhood, the elders and the brothers out there, man. All right, unto the Bayaf Shal Dawadah, which is the house of David. The true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, which means he exists or he is to be. The true name of the Son is Yahushai, which means he is the deliverer. Okay, and that's in the Lashuam Kodash, or the Holy Tongue, or the ancient Hebrew, or Paleo Hebrew. The word Paleo means ancient. Okay, we are the Hebrew Israelites, which consist of 12 tribes. Today we're being called by bywords such as Black, Negro, Native American, Seminole Indian, Latin, Hispanic. But we are the people that make up the lost 12 tribes of Israel. And we out here on a Saturday, all right, in downtown Rochester, which is what a chief place of concourse to prophesy, which means to say before it happens, the coming destruction and also deliverance of the elect and destruction of the wicked. All right, and we just out here to edify right now, brother.
Yep. This is Genesis 1 and verse 13. In the evening and the morning were the third day.
Right, notice it says in the evening and the morning were the third day. Now here in America, you're being told what? Look at your clock at 12 o'clock. It's going to say what? It's going to say Sunday. But as soon as the sun set, which the sun should set about 7:36, 7:37, somewhere around there, here where we at, guess what? That's a new date. You don't have to wait until midnight for it to be a new date. Read that again.
Yep, and it says, verse 13, in the evening and the morning were the third day.
Right, so in the evening, you look up that word in the blue letter, you know, actually I'm going to do it right now.
Yep.
It'll say sunset.
I got you.
The water. It's Genesis 1:13.
Yeah.
You know, if you look up that word in the blue letter, what your brother was getting, is going to say nighttime or sunset. So as soon as that night comes, guess what? That's actually a new day. You know?
Yeah.
Right now is Saturday, September, what, 9th?
9th.
So at sunset, it's actually a new day. But here in America, it won't be a new day until midnight. You see?
Right. For the word Genesis 1 and 13 for evening, it looks like it says Arab, which means night, sunset, evening.
Right.
Is that what you wanted?
Yes.
Evening?
Yeah.
Okay.
The evening means night.
Yep.
Read it again.
Yep. This is the book of Genesis 1 and 13. And the evening and the morning were the third day.
So the night going into the morning. All right, that represented the third day. That's how we tell time.
You know, it's funny in the world when I would it'd be past 12 and I say, hey, we're going to do this tomorrow. And then Esau would be like, you mean today?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's not today. It's tomorrow. Because I'm still going to have to go to sleep and then wake up and it'll be a new day. You know?
Yep.
And it makes sense how it works like that. That's why it says at sunset, then you'll be clean.
Right, right.
You know? So tonight at sundown will be a new day for us.
Right.
You know?
Which we do our days numerically, not according to Esau's or the world system.
Yeah.
You know, or naming the days of the week. All your days of the week are named after pagan gods,
Yep.
idols.
Oh, wow. Went right to it.
Got something?
Yeah, it opened right up to it. Where it says he shall change.
Yep.
That was the spirit I was about to go with.
Yeah, it literally opened right to it.
Yeah, I was going to call for it.
Oh, wow. Barak the Abashimashai. Daniel 7, and let me start at 25. And it says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High.
Right, now who is the he? Well, we can apply this to Esau, right? The precept that's been given to earth. He's speaking great things against the Most High. Passing all type of laws, legislations, coming up against the saints.
When you start up, it breaks it down because it's going into the 10 horns, and then the one after he shall subdue 3 kings, which is French, British, and Spanish.
Yep.
So that's letting you know this is talking about here in Babylon today. And it says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High. Science, you know, you know your own your breakdown for what you identify as.
The who?
Yep.
The left.
The they,
Yeah.
the them, the she.
Yeah.
You know, they speak great things to where people now don't think about God when it comes to creation. Everything's so systematically broken down through corporation that, you know, Baba, plastic, Similac, milk, you know.
Microwave.
Yeah. That you don't think you need the Lord. That's what I was saying earlier in the lesson I did. It's like the minute we start, what my man say, gazer, the minute we start looking at the sun, he hurries up and builds a skyscraper in front of it. You know, as soon as you start grounding, he plants a parking lot over it. You know, like look at where we're at right now. Like you got a couple of trees, but really outside of that, what on earth are we next to?
And then also with that, they're all male trees.
Yep.
None of them are bearing any fruit.
Yep.
You know, that is done by design. You know,
Well, even the fruit today, that's seedless, he turned the fruit into pronouns because now they don't bear. So they're, you know what I mean? Like they're, you know, they can't have no kids, man.
right?
Like Noah, what's his name? Noah, Harari,
Yeah.
whatever. Somehow the big guy was like
Yep.
fake news.
Yep.
I'm speaking great words.
Yep. And now, well, AI now.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, Allen Iverson's taking over.
Right. The AI Caesar.
Yep.
That shit's an idol.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
Yep. And it said he runs 24/7.
People gonna be talking to Caesar tonight.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. And it says, and speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Right. Now, when you go into that word "wear out," it means to harass. Are we not continually harassed here? Go to your mailbox.
I'm
Harassment.
about to say that.
Go to work. Harassment.
Yep.
You know.
Phone.
Yeah.
Unknown caller. Scam likely.
Scam likely. You're continually harassed here. Even just by you being vexed, like Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. That's harassment.
Yep.
Really.
Get pulled
Yep.
over by the cops, pulling with no reason.
Yep. Even you're subject to payments.
Yeah.
It's harassment. You know, like I've mentioned it before, but because the apartment that I go through, they use Allen Iverson to keep everyone's records. So when the computer they didn't register that I paid, they started an eviction process on me. And I had all my receipts, I had all my payments. Then when I called out of frustration, she just says, "Oh, we'll just put it in the computer, you fine." And I come from the age of pain and suffering. I'm like, you gotta recompense me something for this, because it's harassment that I'm receiving text messages. It's harassment that now I'm receiving letters, threats that you're gonna evict me, and I'm holding the money orders right in my hand, you know? And then I don't get nothing back for it, but we're just gonna control Alt F1, and then, you know?
You should then get at least a month free.
Yeah.
That don't pay next month.
Yeah.
But
you know
that-
what I'm saying?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that's true though. But that's America. They don't care. Just get over it. There's a spirit, especially when it comes to the men of our nation. There's a just get over it spirit.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Well, Kwame Brown said that. He said, when it comes to a woman, you have to acknowledge her childhood, her upbringing, what she's been through. But when it comes to a man, meaning he was saying an Israelite man, it's not taken in consideration that he's at the bottom. The odds were stacked against him. He's profiled by the police. So you damn right we're pissed off as men. But that's not addressed. It's why you mad.
Right.
Who
hurt you?
Right. Like you're not acknowledging what we came from to be where we're at now. So that's not addressed. Even in our own, now you may have a few small in between, but we're not looking for a shoulder to cry on. But the point is that needs to be identified when you're with your male counterpart in times of difficulty. That's what a woman needs to come in and say, maybe he had a bad day. But instead, they take it personal because they don't have a mind outside of what's between their two ears. You know, they don't think outside of New York City, you know? It says, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High and think to change times and laws.
Right. So in this day and age, we go by what's called a Gregorian calendar. You know, which has a 7-day week schedule, which is named after you have Saturday, which goes back to Saturn, which goes back to Satan, which is the worship of Satan. Then you have Sunday, which is more obvious, is worship of the sun. Monday goes back to moon. The moon god is worship of the moon. Tuesday, Tyr, which is a Norse god, which goes back to the Vikings. Wednesday goes back to Odin, or Woden, which is the all-father or the god of the Vikings, man.
Wooden.
Yep.
That's why people knock down wood.
Yep.
That's what it's knock on wood. And then Babylonians so gone, they'll go like this. You know, you ever seen them knock on their door like, knock on wood? They're a joke, you know?
And then Thursday actually goes back to Thor.
Yeah,
Thor's
Thor's Day.
The worship of Thor, the god of lightning,
I ain't know that.
Yep, Thor's Day. And Friday goes back to Frigga.
which means beautiful, which goes back to Isis, Semiramis, Isis,
Yep.
Queen of Heaven's spirit.
Yeah,
So it's just
ladies' night.
right. Exactly, man.
So
Exactly.
ladies' night is wicked then.
Hell yeah.
Extremely.
Hell yeah.
That's why they do a lot of adultery going on.
Yep. Bacchus. What if a woman was in the right spirit and they said it's ladies' night, she should say, no, it's my man's night.
Right.
But real quick, this will also cut IUIC. When you go into it, it says I Googled it, what calendar did Moses use? Because they say Friday to Saturday. We're speaking about the Sabbath because there was a brother, he asked us a genuinely sincere question.
Which a lot of brothers, which is going to be a reoccurring question, because a lot of brothers are leaving camps that they may have been under the teaching of Friday, Saturday, or they may just be coming in.
Yep.
There's always new sheep waking up.
Yep.
So they're going to have sincere questions.
Yep, and we love that.
I myself, I used to think it was Friday to Saturday or Saturday.
Me too.
You know, I didn't know.
Scramble.
Me too. Me too. I was like Dr. Neville in I Am Legend, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh shit! Running around, tripping, you know? But I had looked it up and it said, I put in, or look it up yourself,
Right.
what calendar did Moses use? And it says that he used, it says the Hebrew calendar. In the Old Testament, written in the book of Exodus, that the Israelites have used a lunar solar calendar.
Lunar, which means what? Based off the moon. What does it say in Sirach 43? The month is called after her name.
So that proves that it wasn't Friday to Saturday. See, when you just do a little bit further, when you just push it a little further, you realize, wait a minute, that can't be right. Because how did they go by it? Why did Issachar understand time, the signs of the heavens?
Which I believe, I speak as a man, but I believe they get all of that from Abraham. All of that certain knowledge. Remember, Abraham was in Egypt.
Yep.
You know.
Well, don't it say he taught the Egyptians? It says, ever since they departed Egypt, it's believed that the first commandment the Israelite people received as a nation was to determine the new moon. Note Hebrew calendar facts.
Right, that's you want to get it. That's Exodus 12:1, the Passover. This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. So that day had to be a new moon.
Right.
Because the new moon is the first day of the new month.
Right, say it again for that. That shit goes by, you know.
Right, because the new moon is the first day of a new month. The new moon marks the first day of a new month, pretty much.
Good point. You ready? Exodus 12:1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, Masha, right? And Aaron in the land of Egypt
Which
said,
Moses means drawn from water, or drawn from the flood. That's very spiritual.
very spiritual.
You know, Noah
Yep.
Noah was drawn from the flood.
Yep.
There's another flood coming. Which
Yep.
Lord willing, we be like Moses and drawn, saved from that flood.
Yep. And it says, in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
So that had to be a new moon,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So that was a Sabbath too, because the new moon is also a day of rest,
Yep.
but it marks the beginning of a new month.
Yep.
Now, this upcoming Thursday, September 14th,
Yep.
that's the new moon. Now, if you pull out your Google and just Google it, it's going to say 9:40 p.m. That's all. As soon as the sun set, then that's your new moon.
Right.
Together again.
It says, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
Right, which we believe was around, I would say March, around that time. Which time is all out of whack. Now, the brother shared the picture.
Yeah.
Where the hell were they at? Some island?
Yeah.
Year 5?
Yep.
What the hell?
You know it's not the year 2023 in Northern Africa?
There's not.
No.
Hell.
Hell no. That proves how strong Babylon is. That don't mean it's just because it's Saturday here, don't mean it's Saturday there.
Right.
Just because it's 2023 here, don't mean it's 2023 there. It's the year 5763 in Israel. It ain't 2023 in Israel.
Wow.
Yeah. Guess, Guess what year it is in Northern Africa?
Where? What year?
1444.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. So
That's where you put the map up.
Yep.
The thing up. Wow.
Yep. And they go off the lunar. It's off the lunar. Matter of fact, I'm gonna share it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna share it.
Do you know in Ethiopia they believe they're in the year 2016? Because I believe they have an 8-day calendar week or something
Yeah.
to that effect.
Wow. Yo, that's crazy. Damn.
Yeah, the spirit had me look it up because we were going into the brother's question.
Yeah, brother had a question.
So I was like, is it Tuesday in Africa? I started, and then the spirit had me find this. Let me see. Yeah, check this out. Look at that. Screenshot it. Look at that. And right here it says Lunar Hijari Islamic. So it's saying right here, this is the year it is in certain places. 1444.
Right.
You see that? And then another place, it's year 5.
Now that the name Babylon confusion stands out even
Boom.
stronger.
Yeah,
Yep.
Boom.
Call all y'all, but
Boom. Because guess what? It's 2023 in America. It's 2023 in South America. It's 2023 in Russia, in China, and in Europe. That's in Australia. Why? Because that's the beast. That's the beast. So all the places that are associated with Babylon and the beast are in the same year.
They're sync. They're sync.
But the other places that ain't, they're like, nah, it ain't
Man,
2023.
if people keep saying this Bible ain't real and Esau, Edom, the white man, Esau, Edom, the devil, man, they need to die.
Right.
Because that's clear, man.
Right.
This book, I mean, you had a clown told me we ain't supposed to go into prophecy.
Oh, we remember you telling us that.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, come on.
I'm gonna finish back at that was the point, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I had Daniel still. Did you want me to finish that?
Did you finish it?
No.
A little more?
Yeah,
Wow.
Let's finish Daniel, then we'll get back to
Damn, man.
You said finish it. Okay.
real quick. Daniel 7:25, and think to change times and laws. So we're seeing that relationships, laws between a man and a woman.
disorder in marriages.
Yep.
Disorder in homes. Changing of kinds. It says it in, I believe that's Wisdom of Solomon.
Yep, changing of kinds. And it says, and they shall be given, Job 9:24, into his hand he received until a time appointed unto him, and times and the dividing of times. Which, are we not in the dividing of times now? At midnight there was a cry made, 3 days and a half, then they stood up. So we're in the dividing of times now. Oh, 42, was it months?
42 months.
42 months with the beast, you know?
That's going into what, Ezekiel 17?
Which I believe that ended in the year 2000.
Okay.
So they're in borrowed time right now.
Yeah, extremely.
That's all I gotta say.
We're going back. We don't know what time we're in.
No, with the Matrix.
So I knew that part. I knew this year was fake. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
But to that level,
Not to that level.
Right.
Not to like it's another year. You know what? Because when I watch certain like when I'm on Instagram, like people from different countries, and they'll celebrate certain time. I was like, wait a minute, why
Yep.
you celebrate? Like I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying?
Yep,
Like,
yep.
I didn't. It didn't cross my mind. You know what I'm saying?
well, that's the spell that Babylon puts on people, is because you're doing it, you assume they do it. Because Babylon has been given the power to be the standard, you know?
Right.
So now other countries are looked down upon, like, how are you not in the year 2023? You know? But then their new year comes in the middle of motherfucking January, in the winter, you know? Janus, which goes into the Greek god with the 2 heads.
Which past and present. The God
Hit
of
the
past
water.
and present.
Back in Genesis chapter 1 and in verse 13, and the evening and the morning were the 3rd day, and the power said, let there be...
Which that right there was 1,000 years.
Yes.
Yep.
It's a lot.
My bad.
It's all good.
And verse 14, Genesis 1 and verse 14. And it says, and the power said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven.
Right. Now, when you read this verbatim, it's going to say, and God said. But actually, when you look up this word definition of the word God, the word there's Allahayim, which means judges, rulers, powers, divine ones.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's because that's the elect in Yahweh Shai. Because we have to understand, if you want to get real quick, Colossians 1:15. Yahweh, the Father gave unto his Son the blueprint. Yahweh only created Yahweh Shai. Yahweh gave Yahweh Shai the blueprint to create everything else, you know?
The scripture.
Colossians 1,
15.
15.
Thanks.
If you get it before me, I already can read it.
I read it one more time.
Yeah.
And it says, verse 14, and the power said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night.
Right, so that's the that's the sun and the moon, right? You got the right now, the sun ain't out, it's a cloudy day,
Yep.
you know.
You know what's heavy? So you said that word God is Elohim. Do you know where else it says God that means Elohim? Psalms 82 and 6. Remember last camp?
Oh, yeah.
Ye are not God.
Yeah.
But the word God, it says Elohim. So that cuts his breakdown.
Which in the world they would say Elohim.
Yeah.
I
Elohim.
used to
Curse
say
these
that.
gentlemen. I used to say it too. I used to say it too.
Elohim, curse these men.
Yep.
He's calling on the elect.
You got it, Ira?
Yup.
All right.
The book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 15. Who is the image of the invincible Yahweh?
Right, that's a great question. That's Yahweh Shai. Precept that is John 14. And who he that has seen me has seen my Father. You know?
You want it?
Yes. You want to get it real quick?
Yeah, it's right here. John 14 and John 14 and what is it, 9, it says, Yahweh Shai saith unto him, I have been so long with you, yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that has seen me has seen the Father, and how sayest thou then, shew us the Father?
Right, because obviously if you have a son, that son is going to look just like you, have similar characteristics, all of that.
Yep.
So
You know,
Yahweh Shai is just like Yahweh.
You know who knows that? The black woman. When she tells that to her son, and she's, degrading him for looking like his father. You know who looks just like their father? John Amos and his son.
Yeah.
Just alike.
Yup.
Yeah.
My mom used to say that to me. You look just like your damn dad.
Right.
Get that off
You
my
used to
face.
like that though.
Mine too.
You used to like how he looked.
Yup.
Now you don't love me?
Back in Genesis.
No, he still got Colossians.
The book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 15. Who is in the image of the invincible power, the firstborn every creature.
Read it again. It says the firstborn.
Who is the image of the visible power, the firstborn of every creature.
Right, so that's how we know he's the firstborn of every creation. So Yahweh created Yahweh Shai. Keep going.
Verse 16. For by him were all things created.
Right, and that's also a precept of John 1 and 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the power.
Yep.
You know?
Finish.
Yep.
That are in heaven and that are in the earth, visible, invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or power.
Right, and that's pretty much going into the rulership, the demons, the angels,
Yep.
everything.
Spirits. Remember he said, and I saw it on the left hand and the right hand.
Yeah.
So the spirit realm is moving, shaking, and rocking while we here on boring ass earth. Don't get me wrong, I'm thankful that the Lord blessed us to be Israelite men,
Right.
and to be in the faith. But you gotta understand, when you cross that threshold to the spirit realm, the first instinct is not to come back because it's so much peaceful there.
Well, Paul said that.
Yeah.
Roughly paraphrase, he said, I wanted to depart, but it's need for me to be
Yep.
here because I got to
Shalom.
teach you. Shalom.
Shalom.
Was that it, brother? Was that it, Ira, in Colossians? Was that it, brother?
Yep.
Let's go back to this.
Back in Genesis 1 and verse 14, start from the top. And it says, and the power said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide to divide the day from the night.
Right, and the earth ain't flat either, man.
Right.
And there's not just some dome, it's going into the firmament, the heavens. There's three heavens. You have heaven on earth, which is where man dwells and rules as in the kingdom, which is what Esau is doing now in the wicked manner. Then you have the heavens where the constellations are. Then you have the third heaven where Yahweh and Yahweh Shai sits on his right hand.
Yeah, the Van Halen belt, where man has found out they can't cross it.
Yep. And it says, and let them be for signs and for seasons.
Right, so when you get a solar eclipse, that's obviously a sign. Like that, one of my favorite movies, Apocalypto. You got that eclipse came, but that was a sign to let them know that Esau was coming.
Yep.
Ultimately.
Yep.
And then you have blood moons, super wolf moons. Those are signs to let you know that the Lord's getting ready to do something.
Well, can I say something? Remember, Columbus found South America because of what? The St. Elmo fire. So there was, they had the eclipse, and then they also had the chariot sighting.
I know about that. Yeah, the chariots.
And then that was a warning to Jake, because after he got done escaping all the Jakes, he got to the bay, and here came Esau on the ships.
That's right, because whenever there's a major event on Earth, there's heavy UFO activity surrounding that space. Like another space is Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It's now being reported that there's heavy UFO activity over there. You know?
And it goes on to say, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
Right, 4 months. You got 4 months of summer, spring, winter, fall. That's your 12 months in a year. You know?
Verse 15, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and it was so.
Right, to give light upon the earth. So you got your sun, give you light during the day. Your moon gives you light throughout the night with your stars. You know?
And the powers made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day,
Which is obviously the sun,
and the lesser light to rule the night.
which is the moon. And we use these as instruments of time, which is why you have something called a sundial, and then you also have a lunar calendar.
Yep.
You know?
Who was experts at that? The Aztec, I believe, the Mayans.
Yeah.
And it says, he made the stars also, and the power set them in the firmament of the heaven.
And you know what else? All of these heathens, they worship these things, man. You want to get Psalms 96 and 4, Bible to show? And we're going to hold Psalms 96 and 4 because we got to understand that these other nations, they worship the sun. Going back to Egypt, Ra, the sun god, which is why the Lord sent the plague of darkness on their ass to let them know your God ain't real.
Right.
And then you got other nations that worship the moon. You know?
I got it. Read it or still got it.
Yeah, read it.
The book of Psalms, chapter 96, verse 4. For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods.
Read it again.
The book of Psalms, chapter 96, verse 4. For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised.
Right, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's what we're telling the earth now. We're telling man who walks in their vain, foolish inventions that no, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is to be praised. Hey, the Lord could have Esau create something and then he could make it disappear.
Yep.
You're dealing with a different kind of power. But we've been so wrapped in carnality that you forget that there's a whole nother atmosphere outside of football. You know what I mean? Outside of women, outside of food. The Lord put us on a forced fast just to show us that we don't need food to survive.
Yep.
Like that's mind-boggling. When you live in a place where all he teaches you is breakfast, lunch, dinner, break time, snack, protein, get your water. You know?
Consume.
We came from a God that said, no, you don't need to eat. You got to live by me to survive. That's powerful. But through him, it's like, hey, all you can eat. And bring your little one. If you're under 8, it's free. Right? Fuck, man. So then you just get caught up in that. And then now, oh, it's been 6 hours. I need to eat. You're like, what am I thinking? I'm in 2023 too long. You know?
Keep going.
For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods.
Right, because there are no other gods. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is the only true power.
Yep.
You know?
There's spirits. There's deception.
Yep.
You know, there's evil angels. There's angels that control fire, wind, you know, death. But they've been created. But Yahushua was created first, and then they were created after to serve a purpose. But man worships the creature more than the creator. That's your problem, man.
And then you got those that actually worship spirit demon Satan, but he works for the Most High.
Trembling,
Right.
trembling.
You know.
He don't leave the Lord on red like women do.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's in the right order. He's fearful. But man made you fear something else. That was a tactic. I was saying this the other day. You know it was a strategic ass tactic when Esau made light of conspiracy theories. When he joked about landing on the moon, when he joked about tinfoil on your head, that was a very smart strategic move to deflect a death blow. Like, oh, you spotted me. He may be a fool, but he ain't, you know, he still got some wisdom. You know?
He might have been born that night, but it wasn't last night.
Right.
Keep going, brother.
Verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols.
All the gods of the nations are idols. All right, so idols carry spirits. They carry demonic spirits. Like, what's a good movie for that? The Exorcist. He had that damn demon idol. That shit brought demons. That's what these idols do. They carry spirits.
Yeah.
You know.
Guess what? That demon that was an exorcist, that's in Songs of Solomon. It was I think it's a Moabite.
Yeah.
It's the demon god of Moab.
Yeah.
That's an actual demon that Esau used.
I believe his name is Chemos.
Yeah, right in the scriptures.
Yep.
Right in Samuel.
Yep.
I had looked it up one time. So they used a real idol for a movie. Then, since you're speaking about it, in that movie, two people like killed themselves. The set caught on fire. There was all types of shit that was going on.
The actress that played
Linda Blair.
she never was the same again.
Nope.
After that.
No,
Yeah.
it went from Linda Blair to the Blair Witch Project.
Right.
You know?
Was that it, brother?
I got more.
The Blair
But the-
Underwood.
But the Lord made the heavens.
Right. We talking about the heavens. The Most High made the moon, the stars, the sun. That's made by our God. So we ain't gonna worship the creation. We're gonna worship the man who created us. You know.
Even like money, like people worship money as an idol. That brings on spirits too. People want to kill each other for that paper. They don't work for it.
Love of money.
Yep.
I got a quick precept. This Jeremiah 10
Beautiful.
and verse 10. It says, Jeremiah 10 and verse 10, but the Lord is the true God. He is the living power and an everlasting king. At his wrath, the earth shall tremble.
Right, and that's during the second coming of Yahushua. The whole earth is gonna tremble, man. You know, the waves, the ocean, the waters thereof. The earth is gonna reel to and fro like a drunkard.
Right.
You know.
And it says, and the nations shall not be able to abide his indignation. It says, verse 11, thus shall ye say unto them, the gods that have not made the heavens and the earth, even they shall perish from the earth.
Oh, it's another one in Isaiah. It says, the idols of Egypt shall melt.
Yep.
Right.
When the Lord come back, man.
Right.
You know, so all these statues of Baphomet, the World Trade Center, Statue of Liberty, all that shit.
Big ass Jesus in Brazil.
Yeah.
Yep, Christ the Redeemer.
Yep.
The angels strike that thing down.
Struck with lightning.
Yep.
Oh, the obelisks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those got struck with lightning.
Yep.
Now it's coming out that the obelisk is 660 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
Because it's even under the ground. It's not just, it actually goes deep. Yep.
Oh,
yep.
shit.
Yep.
Oh, wow. And it goes in to say, Jeremiah 11 and verse 11, it's, verse 12, it says, he hath made the earth by his power, he hath established the world by his wisdom, and have stretched out the heavens by his discretion. When he uttered...
Space.
Yeah, right.
Right? Stretched out the heavens by his discretion.
And there's another one that says he stretched out the heavens as a curtain.
I think it's not Isaiah, I believe. Yep.
It's about to rain.
Yeah, we're gonna go through it now.
Yeah.
All right.
Or if you brothers want to stand under here, you can either shift it or
Turn this way.
you're good.
Okay.
Lord willing to pass this.
Right.
Back in Jeremiah 10 and 13, when he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causeth... Oh, 44. Oh, wow. That's spirit. And it says, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he caused the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures.
All this is controlled by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
That was the point.
Even in Morocco, I believe it was a 6.8,
300 people.
almost
800.
1,000 now.
Yeah.
800.
The article I just read said
Crazy.
1,000 people. Because you know they lie with the numbers.
Yeah.
Then you gotta count for the people that didn't find yet.
Yeah.
Off the grid.
We might as well say X a month.
Yeah.
Now, back in the book of Genesis 1.
I'm sorry, I want to say real quick.
Oh, yeah.
We're in a time where it's an innumerable amount. So we don't know the number, so now the judgment is becoming innumerable.
Yeah.
So we can't give an exact number. Like in Dawn of the Dead, they were like, is it contagious? We don't know. Can we get it? I don't know. You know what I mean? So like we're in a time like it's innumerable.
Yeah.
But judgment is coming in an innumerable amount upon people.
right.
You know?
Well, if I can add, Bob Gashad says that the Lord's judgment is like basically, like the rising of the sun. So basically, it's going on every day, every second.
Right.
It's likened to a ring.
Oh yeah, the Lord's judgment. Back in Genesis 1 and 17, and the power set them in the firmament.
Alahayim.
Right. And I'll read it. It's my bad. I read it out like that. Verse 17. And the Alahayim set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth.
This is power we're talking here.
Yeah.
This is creation.
We're talking power.
Yeah.
To the point to where if we be of the elect, that means we were in the beginning. We were there.
Right.
You know, you may like the color blue because brother, you helped create it.
Right.
We don't realize the power that has been bestowed upon us, and that's why it says there's some remembrance of former things, because now the Lord wants these men to take this opportunity by faith. By faith.
And even how the sun reacts to the human body. You know, you get vitamin D, you get certain nutrients, you get recharged up. You know.
Yep.
You the real Superman.
Yes.
Even on that show Dragon Ball Z, when he saw the full moon, he got stronger. He
Yeah,
turned into a
yeah.
great ape.
Yeah.
Well, you actually need the sun and the moon for Earth to fluctuate.
Yeah.
The waves roaring.
Exactly.
Were you gonna say something like?
No, I was gonna say, like you said in that word, hue, people of color, because it's only hue means color, so
Yep.
human,
Yep.
so only us.
Yep.
We have a positive effect to it.
Yep.
Esau, obviously,
Has a negative effect.
Yeah.
And that happened through murdering his brother.
Yeah.
So, that's why it says he that hates his brother knows not the Most High. Because Cain, what he did, meant you were completely far away from what the Lord wants man to be doing on earth.
Right.
You know?
Wrong sacrifice.
Yep.
That's why Bill Gates wanted to destroy the sun.
Yep. Multiple times they've been trying to do that. You know? And then in the movie Matrix, he said that that's what they did. They attempted to destroy the sun because they said that's how the machines got their power.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
So
I
he-
just watched that like 2 nights ago.
What, the first one?
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, my son wanted to watch it
good.
for some reason. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was dope. He said, we don't know
Who struck first?
Who struck first, but we know that we were the first to scorch the sun or something.
Yeah, the sky, yep.
Yeah.
Which they did, but when you go past the clouds, the sun was still there.
Yeah, it's still there.
That's why you had the
Yeah.
children of Zion underneath.
Yeah.
Which is spiritual, because in Rome, we were the ones in the catacombs.
Yeah.
That was us, the Christians.
But then it said that after this place is destroyed, that the smoke will be a continuing of flame, of
Yeah.
fire.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
Babylon.
Going to that.
Babylon will
The
be-
wasteland.
Yep.
18. This is the book of Genesis chapter 2 and verse 1. Genesis 2 and 1.
Oh, and let me say this, since we're speaking about machines and movies, I just watched Terminator Genesis, where it was basically, it was dope. I ain't even gonna lie, it was dope. If y'all brothers are into it's dope. It was
Yeah,
actually
it's
good. It was actually good. But it was going into how Genesis was the new Skynet before it called itself Skynet, so it was trying to bring itself back. Like now, Generation Alpha. So now he's starting over again. He's attempting his rule.
Yeah.
You know?
Makes sense.
Out of the ashes, we shall rise.
Wrong,
Is it
wrong.
wrong? Is it raining bad?
No. I was just looking at that weird it's white chick.
Because if it is, we'll shift. You know what I mean?
Jihad.
Genesis 2 and verse 1, it says, Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the 7th day,
Right, it says on the 7th day. So it took them, 6 days? Right, but you have to understand that time on earth it's not as time in the heavens. You know, time with us is not like with time with the Most High.
Well, it said seventh day, man was created on the fifth day, right? Don't it say in the fifth day, all the moving creatures?
Yep.
And then the sixth day is he started doing the order, man and woman, and that's why Esau came out with that movie, The Sixth Day. Y'all seen that with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
It was called The Sixth Day, which was basically him saying he started creating man again. And it was all the cyborgs and so-called clones. Because you can't, all that clone shit I be seeing, sometimes people talk about it. Look, Esau can't take a spirit and put it in a jar.
Right.
He can't take your spirit, you know, like Shane Sung, and he's walking with it.
Soulless, man.
Right. No, he can't do that. Can he replicate your body? Yeah. He could do that, but he can't put no spirit in there.
He can't control the spirit. He
No.
don't have that power. You know, if he could, then motherfuckers would never get out of prison.
Exactly.
That's true.
The only thing that I think I've seen them do is do the like have video footage of the soul leaving the body, the orbs.
Yeah.
Right.
I've seen them videos
Right.
where then you can see
Recording the weight.
Recording, yeah.
But he can't.
Yeah, he can't
Can't,
grasp
you
it.
know?
Yeah.
Now back in Genesis 2 and verse 2, and it
Can I
said,
read this real quick? I'm sorry. Just for to prove that point. This is the precept you use if somebody tries to clone talk you. Ecclesiastes 8 and 8. Ecclesiastes 8 verse 8. It says, now while y'all getting, I'll start at 6. Because
So they didn't clone Tyrone?
no, no.
who cloned Tyrone?
But can they replicate you? Don't they have stunt doubles?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
You know, can't they do plastic surgery?
Yeah.
What showed
Face
you that
off.
Pootie Tank? They had thousands of Pootie Tanks.
See?
You know?
See? It says, verse 6, because to every purpose there is time and judgment. Therefore the misery of man is great upon him. For he knoweth not that which shall be, for who can tell him when it shall be? There is no man that has power over the spirit to retain the spirit.
So that goes into Esau. He don't have power over the spirit. But Yahushua said that. That's why Yahushua said, don't fear him who could kill your body, but fear him who could rather destroy your soul and body in hell.
Yeah.
Because once you die, your spirit is going up. Let's say, Lord willing, we are the elect, right? We get beheaded because we don't want to take the you know what. There's nothing else he can do to us. We're going to be free.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
That would be merciless.
Yep.
Merciless.
Exactly. It says, neither has he power in the day of death. So these people don't have power in the day of death. Pride, they get to walk and talk. The Lord could cripple your ass right now. You ever see Tales from the Hood? Draw your ass up. Remember you lit a candle? Light a candle on your ass. But that's what people don't take a second to think. You could have a fucking brain aneurysm. You could just combust.
Yeah.
You know? Choke on water.
You could be in traffic. Just
Yep.
give up the ghost,
Yep.
cause the whole pile up.
No destination.
Yeah.
You know? You could start doing the spin-a-rooney because you took that thing.
Yeah.
At any minute, your candle could be blown out, man.
Start seeing shit. You might see an actual demon.
Yeah, exactly.
You remember back when people was combustion,
Yep, spontaneously.
like combustion in the
Boom!
fire, like
Yeah.
when you like, damn, how that shit happen?
That was on 1,000 Ways to Die.
I remember that show. Yep.
It was like, man, he was just talking and then boom. Because that pride, man. And I like
Damn.
judgment like that.
Damn.
I like judgment like that. And that's the problem. We're surrounded by people that use this big ass empty bowl between their legs or between their ears to talk a bunch of pride. You know? That's the problem. That's why judgment needs to happen here.
I think that's what the they were in the Matrix. That's what the machines was harvesting humans for, because of the heat.
They're using their energy
For
to turn the
battery,
batteries.
for a battery and for
Yep.
a heat source.
Yep.
Because these bodies is electrical.
Your spirit is.
Yeah.
Because you can't do that with a dead body.
Not at
It's
all.
got to think it's alive. That's why they had the Matrix.
Yeah.
It had to be alive.
Yeah.
Because if it's not alive, the spirit's gone.
Yeah.
Now bacteria grows. Now the immune system breaks down. Now you start decomposing.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's dust.
Yeah.
From dust we shall return.
Yeah.
You saw Book of Eli.
Yeah.
You read the scriptures.
Right. But that's what he said too. He said, for some reason, you humans, like it couldn't work, the first Matrix.
Yep.
They said because you guys based your life over agony and pain. So we had to fix the Matrix to where you felt like you had emotions and feelings.
Yep. Because that's your spirit.
Yeah.
We're designing the spirit to have what they call emotions.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
But let me read it from the top again. Ecclesiastes 8:8. There is no man that has power over the spirit to retain the spirit. And this proves how powerful Yahushua is, because it said he humbled himself unto death.
Yeah.
It behooved him to be of the seed of Abraham. That proved the fact that Yahushua, it behooved him to be of Abraham, proves salvation is for Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And it says, neither has he power in the day of death, and there is no discharge in that war, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. So wickedness can't even deliver your ass, man. You trusting in wickedness, that's gonna get me out of here. You rubbing two stones together,
Right.
cancer season, die, you know, and you dead, you know?
Yep. Yep. Oh, you want 2 Peter 3, Nick? Keep going to Genesis?
Yeah, we'll keep going a little bit.
Okay. Back in Genesis 2 and verse 2.
Stop raining.
And on the 7th day, the Elohim ended his work, which he had made, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had made.
Right, he rested on the 7th day, which goes into Shabbat. The word Shabbat means to rest. You know?
Verse 3, and the Elohim blessed the 7th day and sanctified it, because in it he had rested from all his work which the powers created and made.
It said he sanctified that day.
Right.
So there are certain days, I get that, or certain days he hallowed.
Yeah.
He sanctified that.
Yep.
So you got it.
I'm sorry, which that going to that word, it means holy.
Yep.
Which the word there is kodash. So it's set apart. This day we're going to rest because it took us 6 days. So we need a day to rest.
Right.
But it wasn't 6 actual days. No, it was 6,000 years to create all of this. You know? Then the 7,000 year was a rest period. You know?
And it's a different understanding when you talk about the Most High versus his creations, because that's what a lot of the Kemet's try to use. Say, oh, well, your God need to rest on. No, that means rest. If you look into it, means to sit still. So he stopped his works.
Right.
That's not he was tired. He just stopped.
And he
Yeah.
made it
Rest means
holy
stop.
too.
Yeah.
And he made this a holy day. I'm gonna give y'all rest.
Yeah. Yeah. From these bodies.
You said Kemet?
Yeah.
Well, now Polite is resting his ass in prison.
Arrested.
How about that?
He got arrested. Now he's resting.
And he ain't getting no peace neither.
Yeah. Oh, for a pedophile? Oh,
Yeah.
he's going through it.
Yeah, hell
They
yeah.
gonna get
And
it.
also, those Egyptian gods are sick.
Sicko.
You know, I don't
Anyway.
want to talk about what
How they created themselves.
how they believe.
How they believe they
They
created.
believe their God,
Yeah.
did something.
It's
Y'all
like-
nasty.
It's like,
Women put him in prison.
Right. You see genuine.
Yep, call all y'all about shit.
Real
That-
quick.
That derives from Ishmael too, because
Yeah, it's
thing
too.
was Muhammad had a boy lover.
Yeah. In the Quran.
Yeah.
In the Quran,
Yeah.
you get virgin boys.
Yeah.
Oh,
When you make it to the end.
But that Kemet shit comes from
Sick
Islam.
ass.
They're all sick.
Yeah.
Their Egyptian God, I think it's the God put. But anyway, they would jizz in the Nile River for
Yep.
fertility,
Yeah.
so they can have a blessed agricultural season.
Well-
Well, they believe how creation was made.
that's sick.
Well, their God we gonna put our foot in his ass. How about that?
We'll put them in a choke.
We're gonna put him in a
Right.
choke. This is Sirach 33 and verse 7, pertaining to this topic at hand.
Right, and that's also called the
Ecclesiasticus.
Ecclesiasticus Apocrypha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sirach, page 90. You good, brother? You good, brother? This for you. You don't got to run from it. It's Sirach, page 90, Ecclesiasticus 33 and verse 7. And it reads, why does one day excel another? When as all the light of every day in a year is of the sun, by the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished, and he altered seasons and feast. Now, when I hear altered seasons, did he not alter the season to allow the northern kingdom to cross?
Yeah, with the weather.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
that was
back
a
to
sign or a miracle.
Yep.
I'll get that real
You know?
quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it reads, I'll read it from the top again. Verse 8, by the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished, meaning today is not going to be the same as tomorrow.
Nope.
And you know how he distinguished it in the wilderness when he gave us extra food, and he said, "Have more today, so that tomorrow you'll have." Right.
Take a little extra, so tomorrow you don't have to. You can chill.
Yep.
You know.
You got it.
Yep. This is 2nd Esdras 13 and verse 44. I'll start at verse 43. 2nd Esdras 13 and 43. And they enter into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
The northern kingdom and the Assyrian captivity.
Right, which is the children of Ephraim and his companions.
Right.
Ephraim being the head of the whole northern kingdom. You know, because when you go into the history, our kingdom was split during the time of Solomon's death between Jeroboam and Rehoboam. You know, I believe Jeroboam got the north and Rehoboam got the southern kingdom. And that's part of our history, though.
And it wasn't it only two?
Yes.
2 pieces of garment he got, or was it 3?
I believe he only got 3, and the other 10 went to.
Only reason I said that because remember Levi didn't go with him initially,
Right.
and Levi got kicked out because they put Gad as the priest,
It
so
made
then
him
it made him go
Judah and Benjamin.
right, and that's why Levi's with the southern.
Because his name is an Omenon, which means join unto me, which means join unto Judah. You know, Yahweh shall spring out of Judah. You know?
2nd Esdras 13 and verse 44.
Let's switch it for you. Let's switch it. Okay. It's starting to rain more on him. Let's switch it this way. Yeah, the signs are good, brother. Y'all get under the. Yeah, let's get under that. You know what I mean?
2nd Esdras 13 and verse 44, and it says, "For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over."
Right, so the Most High did special miracles so the northern kingdom would come over here and inhabit this land and the islands thereof.
Because that's
Because they're down there too. They're down in South America. You got Brazil. You got Panama going up to Mexico, to North America, to Canada, Alaska. This is a vast region, you know?
And it says, verse 45, "For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half."
That was a long trip, especially with the technology they had back then by boat. You know, all those people too, you know?
And it says, and the same region is called Ashereth.
Arzareth, which means another land. Now, when you look up this word Arzareth in the Jewish Encyclopedia, they're associated with America. Or they say in the Columbus writings, he associated it with America.
That's why he came here with Israelite interpreters. Joseph Bon Levi,
Yes.
I believe his name was.
Yep.
And then he stayed here.
Yeah.
He stayed in he stayed in the land
With his people.
with his peeps.
You know?
His brethren. That was it.
Yeah, a little more in the days part. Verse 9, it says, "Some of them has he made high days and hallowed them."
Right, like we just had the Day of Atonement, Feast of Memorial, blowing of trumpets, you know?
Every month there's a high holy day, which is the new moon. You know? "And hallowed them, and some of them has he made ordinary days."
Their left hand got it. You know, they got Halloween coming up. I already seen Halloween decorations and shit, man. People got demons in their yard and
Yep.
shit. So they hollow their days. The Lord gave us certain days for Halloween.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, they call it Halloween.
Oh, right.
So it's a
Right.
hallowed weaning day of their moon.
Right, Eve meaning time.
Right.
So it's a special time for them to be demonic.
For Esau to run around naked with blood.
Pass out candy.
Yeah, with razors in them. And Jake's all in it too, man.
Yeah.
You know, thick black women gyrating with white contacts in their eyes.
Dressed up like the devil. 'Cause she
Yup.
is the fucking devil.
Right though? Looking like hop spin. Y'all seen the Caribbean festival in New York City? It was 7 hours.
Oh.
It looked like a zombie movie. You had a Jake in a wheelchair. He was hunching on this woman and she's twerking on him. This one nigga had 2 horns. He's slithering on the concrete.
Oh my
They all got
God.
like gray body paint on. It was mad sick. They're all bouncing flesh. I was like, this
Sweat.
is sick. It was all you black people too. You know? Fuck.
Oh, man.
Stand y'all.
I got a quick one. This is Jeremiah 10 and verse 1. I start from the top.
Beautiful. I was going to say that's the spirit.
Jeremiah 10 and verse 1. It says, hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
House of Israel, meaning all the tribes.
Not
The
just
Lord-
HOI.
Right, not just HOI. You know?
Sorry.
And it says, thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Right, meaning don't do after they do. Don't learn their ways. Don't get tattoos. Don't eat pork. Don't put Christmas trees in your house.
Can I speak English, brother?
You know?
Meaning their rituals.
Right.
You know?
Their customs.
Their customs.
The worshiping of their idols. How they defile themselves. You know?
And it says, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Their manner of conduct. You know, because don't they are heavy into astrology? You know, the
Yep.
black woman's in astrology.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Leo, I'm a Scorpio,
Yep, yeah, yeah.
Sagittarius, all this bullshit.
Zodiac sign.
You know?
And it says, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Right, so going back to what we were saying earlier, the heathens worship the sun and the moon and the stars. You know, they have many gods. But our people have taken on those customs too. You know?
You know what the problem with Babylon is? It leaves a room of discussion of doubt.
Yeah.
That's the problem of Babylon. And there's you're allowed to sit, drink coffee, cross your legs, and question. You know, well, you know, what if it was bacteria
Oh,
it
man.
came from?
And now TikTok then gave everybody a platform. Everybody and their mama on TikTok tripping, man. You know?
That's why even with the prophets back then, they were pissed off being around Jake. Even like us now, you know. Hey, man, I avoid my family like the plague. Hey, hello, hi. But I don't let them go too far into, you know, being around because they'll try to do something. And I say, this is why you leave them alone.
Yep.
Can I read this real quick in the NLT? Jeremiah 9, because you're in Jeremiah 10, right? Jeremiah 9 and 2, just real quick. It says, oh, that I could go away and forget my people and live in a traveler's shack in the desert, for they are all adulterers, a pack of treacherous liars.
Right.
That's why we want to be away from Jake, man. We already got enough to deal with the Babylon standard, and then you go next to the counterpart of your people, and you're hearing her speak what you just did a lesson on, rebuking him.
Yep.
Like, and I just, you know?
Well, that makes sense because Yahushua had to flee from Jake. He went to the woods, the wilderness, you know?
Well, they was trying to crown him.
Yeah.
You know?
Back in Jeremiah 10 and verse 3, it says, for the customs of the people are vain.
Vain meaning worthless, empty, fruitless. You know?
Let's get a tattoo with our child's date and our first date, and then 3 years later, y'all break up, he's on child support with a restraining order.
Oh,
now
man.
you got this Chinese font with y'all name on it. You know? I fucking hate this place.
Permanent.
You know? No, then she covers it up with a Little Wayne verse or
Dude,
something.
what Eminem says, his next girlfriend had to be Kim.
Yep.
Damn. I got another quick one. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 1. Wisdom of Solomon 13 and 1.
Oh, that's the spirit.
It says, surely vain are all men by nature.
I'm sorry, that reminds me of Genesis 1. That's why Adam was chosen and he got the breath of life.
Right.
He had to tell you, no, that's a Aria, that's a lion.
Yep.
No, that's poison. He had to tell them because they didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, they just walking up to it like the happening. Remember, they saw the lawnmower.
Yeah.
They didn't know what he was doing. Like, no, bro, that's not how you do it.
He laid down.
You know, Amor Gabar had broke something down, and I never really thought of it. It passed my mind, but I never really like hung on into it. He was like with the serpent show when it taught Eve. I think he was a wizard, right? A sorcerer.
Witch, yep.
Yeah, witch. So he probably showed her something in the future, in these days, that she probably cleaved to,
Right.
and told Adam about it. Adam went with it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
I believe that they had technology because they were into astrology, so they were able to see. You know what I mean? Like now, you could go to Walmart and look at the rings of Saturn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could get a telescope. I bought a pair of binoculars and lost my mind looking at the moon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit, look. I was like, look.
The craters.
Look at the craters. But, so you got to imagine what they had back then. I believe she could have saw something. He showed her something and that captivated her. You You know what I mean? And then she spewed it back to
Right.
Adam. So we'll know fully,
Yep.
but he had to do something. They got all types of potions and shit.
That's why she said we be like gods 50-50, because she seen women over men doing things what men supposed to be doing. And she said, oh, we could be both as gods. You know what I'm saying? We could be
Equality.
50, equality.
Right. Bewitched her with equality.
She got deceived.
Yep.
Mm.
Meaning, just because you don't listen to your husband, you don't mean you're gonna die.
God.
Because did she die after not listening to her husband?
Nope.
No. Because I always be thinking about that, like man, Adam had to be looking at her like Samuel Jackson or something afterwards. Like he had to been pissed. You know what I mean? Like he had to been pissed. But don't the scriptures say you're not supposed to put her away? But you got to think, after her dealing with the serpent and his knowledge, how you think dinner went that night? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he probably the fork was hitting the plate a little hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know it's low level, but that's like my wife. She speak too much. She try to be. I mean, it's a good trait to have, but it was something where they was going to give it to us cheaper, and she was like, "Well, I thought this one was this much," and then I'm like, "This
Right.
Like, keep your mouth closed sometimes. Like, we just could have gotten it way cheaper.
Right.
And then, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's like you looking at your wife like, you know, like, really, dumbass?
You gotta say that sometimes. Be quiet. Women will tell you.
Yeah.
I had a woman tell me one time. She said, "Sometimes you gotta tell my ass. You gotta tell my dumb ass."
Yeah.
They know. So sometimes you gotta shh, or just keep a sock around you. You know, homie, don't play that. What were you saying? We'll take two.
Right, little poke.
I'm playing. But y'all know what I mean. You know. But y'all got it.
Back in Wisdom of Solomon 13 and verse 1, it says, surely, and it's all capitals right there. It says, surely, vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of the Most High,
Unknowing.
and cannot out of the good things that are seen know him that is. Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster. But then, right.
Can I read it again?
Yeah, yep. It says, and cannot out of the good things that are seen know him that is, neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster.
Right, they don't acknowledge the work master, meaning the creator of it.
Yep.
You know, they just worship it. They just took it and run with it. Not even understanding the significance behind it. You know?
That's right. And it says,
Can I get a precept?
of course.
This is Romans.
Yeah.
This is Romans 1.
Uno.
Right.
Round one.
Romans 1 and 25. Romans 1 and 25. You brothers there?
Yep.
It says, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie?
Esau,
Yep.
the God of this world,
Yep.
you know, gave you Caesar Borgia, covered the faces of the true judges.
Yep.
He changed the truth into a lie.
Yep.
And so much now you can just get on the app and talk to AI Jesus.
Yep.
You
He's
know?
moving too. And he's listening. Because before, it's called them dumb idols because they couldn't speak or listen. Now they're speaking. Now they're talking. Children worship Alexa, right? Where they're at home with Alexa and she's taking care of them while mommy's at work.
Yep.
And it says, and worshiped and served the creature more than the creator.
Right, they worship and serve the creature. The sun, the moon, the stars, animals, women, themselves. In the last days it says men shall be lover of themselves.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. It says, and serve the creature more than the creator. Oh, the MOTB is a creature.
Yep.
Because a creature is anything created. Creation.
Which that movie Implanted, when he got that thing, man.
Sarah. Oh no, you're talking about Implanted. I'm sorry.
The man.
Yep. Upgrade.
Yeah, Upgrade. Excuse me. The movie Upgrade, when he got that rice device.
Oh, man.
He was on one.
He was on one. He learned how to do karate and shit. You know, he was fucking that dude up, man. You know, but then at the end of the movie, it took over him. Shit took over his mind and put him in an alternate reality.
Yep.
It says, who serves the creature more than the creator, idols are creatures.
And people gonna serve that MOTB.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And when that gets brought out on the scene, that's gonna shake up the Israelite community.
Shake up Jacob.
You know?
Wake up, shake up, Jacob.
Shake up.
What was I gonna say too? It says, oh well, Babylon's a creature. Right now, think about it. Y'all brothers all work this week, right? So look at how I'm not saying like that. There's days where you serve Babylon more than the Lord. You may, I mean, we think that that's why we're under grace, but it's like, damn, I put more work in for you than I can for the Lord. Slavery.
Egypt.
So we're fighting against the worship.
Yep.
You know? And that's why he said, now make them get their hay.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yep. Exodus 5.
Yeah.
Which made the slavery that much harder.
Yep.
You know? Because back during chattel slavery, you lived on the master's plantation. They gave you everything. Now you guys got to wake up. You got to drive to work. You got to find your way home. If your car breaks down, you still got to be there. If you ain't there on time, you just get fired.
Yep.
They replace your ass like that.
Yep. It says, and serve the creature more than the creator who is blessed forever. Amen.
Right. Call Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai.
That's right.
You know, that's a blessing to know the name too, and to
Oh,
worship that name. Not just be out here lost, you know, carry with every wind of doctrine like these people.
Yep.
Was that a little more?
Yes, more. Yep.
Right.
Well,
Let's
we're
get back
also-
to, Peter's.
Okay.
We're also blessed to have the name,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah, man. It says, back in Wisdom of Solomon 13 and verse 2, it says, but deem either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars or the violent water.
Who's ain't the Star of David?
Right. Yep. Or the lights of heaven.
Y'all ever see pictures of the stars? How they just be like shining?
Yeah.
They're not
In the
the
shape of the 6 point.
yep.
Yeah.
5 point, yep.
Yep.
That's
But-
just the distance.
Yep.
Distance of it.
Yeah. Yeah, the stars we just said it's like basically like a real mini ball of like a sun, you know,
The gas if you will.
right? It's not no damn pentagram, you know. And it says, to be the gods which govern the world, with verse 3, with whose beauty, if they being delighted, took them to be gods, let them know how much better the Lord of them is. For the first author of beauty had created them.
Yep. That's who, Yahweh Shai and the angels. And that's because they got the blueprint.
How you doing, bro?
What's up, brother?
Well, I don't mean to like interrupt. I was just interested in what y'all doing.
We're the Israelites. We're just out here teaching the Bible. Do you know you're an Israelite?
You mean by birth or by like faith?
Well, by birth too, by seed. What's your nationality?
Native American, Dominican.
What about your father on your father's side?
That's my knowledge, like Dominican. I don't know.
Okay.
That's what the Israelites go through.
Yeah.
Not knowing who they are.
Yeah, in the last
That's
days, it
prophecy.
was prophesied that we would go through pretty much of losing our heritage, not knowing who we are. Now, you say your apostle be Dominican, right? Dominicans go back to a tribe of Israel, the tribe of Simeon, right? Now, Simeon is a name that means affliction heard. So what we go through down here in America, the Most High is hearing that. He just wants you to cry unto him, right? The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, which means he exists. The Son's name is Yahweh Shai. Now, the world will call them God and Jesus Christ, but those are false names, right? The true name is Yahweh, and the Son's name is Yahweh Shai. So we're just out here to teach our people, you know, brothers like you that may have sincere questions, you know?
Because our people don't know that we personally have a God. Like, because you grew up like I did, you know, just thinking that God was God, and you see the so-called white man monopolize that, and it's just Christianity. But when you actually open the book, you find out that the God they're referring to, he's referred to as the God of Abraham, then the God of Isaac, and then the God of Jacob, which we found out we're Jacob. We're not just so-called black. Like, you walking on the street, they would just assume you're a so-called black, like me. But I identify as either Gad or Reuben, and you said Dominican, right? So you would be a Simeonite. So you don't have to just degrade yourself and identify as a color, because we're more than a color. Even though our God is our complexion. That's another thing they hid from us too, is who our God is he's a so-called black man.
what type of books do you guys read other than like the Bible? Like other like
I'll show you. So I'll show you what I read.
like y'all read the you ever read the book of Enoch?
Well, I'll say this. There is a man by the name of Enoch in the Bible, but the book of Enoch that they have today is not the true translation. And the only reason why I say that is because it doesn't coincide with the story in the Bible. Because in the book of Enoch, it says that Esau killed Nimrod. But Nimrod was way before Esau was ever born. So we don't cleave to the book of Enoch because it doesn't tell truth like the Bible. It says that Noah had white skin, but Noah was a man of color. So we refrain from that. But we read like things like Bible Dictionary, From Babylon to Timbuktu. We also go into like New World Order, Illuminati books, because you heard of Illuminati, right? So the Illuminati that you know, that's actually found in the scriptures as the crafty council. So the plans that the elites have, the Bible already prophesies they're going to do these things, but then they're going to fail because our God's going to send our Savior to deliver us in the midst of their pre-planned destruction.
Right.
Like the third war, you've heard about Ukraine, Russia. Well, that's actually in the Bible. So we're seeing what we're reading happen in real time. So we know we're that much closer to the end. And their end is our beginning. So when America falls, we're going to rise. And we're going to be ruling. You're going to be ruling.
Yo, I seen a lot of stuff. I experienced a lot of stuff.
I bet, brother.
And like you know how like in the Bible it talks about how eventually like the earth is going to be made into a paradise.
Yep.
And everything going to change like instantaneously.
Yep.
So bro, I felt like I seen it, bro. Like I think it happens at different points in time. Like, you know, time and space is relevant, like, to each individual.
Mm-hmm.
But my mother actually was like, she real spiritual. Like, I seen a lot of stuff. Like, I seen, like, a fucking dragon pop out at me when I was a little kid. Like, all types of stuff. Like, I grew up around that type stuff.
Right.
Like, so, like, my mother asked me one day, like, yo, you feel different? I'm like, no. But, like, a couple days ago, man, a lot of you know, I've seen, like, it was like a grip. Like reality, bro. It was like everything just changed.
Well, you know what? It says that Abraham fell into a trance, and then the Apostle Peter, he fell into a trance as well. But let me read this for you. This is Joel 2, and Joel 2, and let's start at 27. It says, "And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel." We're Israel. We are the Israelites. And it says, "And that I am the Lord your God." So you actually have your own God. You don't have to share your God with other nations. You have a God that's telling you specifically. He looks at other nations and pushes them to the side and says, "No, you're mine, and I'm yours." That's what he's conveying to us in these last days. That's why we're in captivity right now, because we went off as the Lord's people, but we're coming back to him. So this ain't reality. This is just a moment in time of hell. But soon reality's going to set in and we'll be ruling and we'll have power. We'll have a kingdom. We'll have land. We'll have our own children, our own wives, and power. We're going to be more than just human, you know? Because when you think about existence, this can't just be who you know as God wanted. If you to believe in God, you're going to say, this is all we're going to get. You heard Tony Montana, he said, this is it. This bare minimum? No, this is just hell for right now. It says, "And that I am the Lord your God and none else." I'm no one else's other God. And it says, "And my people shall never be ashamed." Right now we're ashamed. Right now we have to suffer low self-esteem and being accused of stealing and robbing while we're on stolen land. We've been stolen and robbed, but we're the face of robbery and thievery and criminal activity when the biggest criminal on the earth is over us right now. Esau, the so-called white man. The one on your dollar bill. And it says, "And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy." So you said, man, I seen something. I seen a rip. I seen life change. Because the Lord is opening you up to something greater than this cursed captivity of Babylon. You're in Babylon right now. You're in Babylon. That's why it sucks. Sometimes you forget you forget you're on earth. You're on earth. You don't got to stay here. Why do us as a nation think we got to stay here? When this place has murdered us, raped us, robbed us, kills us, and then we die to be in a music video to replicate what he's done to us to do to our people. Because we're under a spell, we're under a curse here. Why do black people, brown people, collectively not think, hey, we should leave America? Because
Not that easy.
I know it's not. I know it's not, but is it possible?
Collectively, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right. But we're not telling you to leave, but I'm making that point to say we're not leaving because we're waiting to be delivered out of here. But other people that don't believe in this, you got to question, why stay in Rochester? Why stay in Avenue D? Why stay McDonald's and Taco? Why? Because there's something that's keeping you here. Because this is the Lord's movie. Because the Lord raises prophets up in Babylon so his people can come to him through the prophets and not just leave and go to Uganda and die. You know what I mean? So it
Do
says,
you understand like what your purpose is in life?
I'm sorry?
Do you understand like what your purpose is?
I do believe now through faith this is my purpose. Because I was going to leave America about 7 years ago. I was going to go to South America. But then the Lord moved up.
Teaching?
Just to survive. Because
Bible was your purpose?
because once I found out the truth and I found out that America was going to be destroyed, I said, well, why stay here? Why keep working? I had a full-time job. I was an electrician. I was certified to run gas line. I was making a lot of money. But then the truth came to me and I quit all of it. I dropped everything. I sold everything. And I moved to California to go to Nicaragua. I was going to buy land. But then the Spirit changed it up and it brought me here. I'm not even from Rochester. I never met these brothers. I never met none of them. But the Lord brought me here. And now we clinked in.
Me too, man. I was in prison. Going through a whole bunch.
I bet.
I came out here. I seen cops with the body and stuff out here. Like I was in prison fighting cops for 4.5 years straight. I did 10, but the last 4.5, I maxed out. I was in the hole. I was in death row and everything.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, you gotta pray to your God, brother.
Why you say that? What makes you say that?
It's gonna get worse.
So
It's
that's
good.
a bad thing.
Well, I'm
Don't
saying,
you know like certain things that you go through and build character.
absolutely.
Everything that I've been through is not nothing I should feel ashamed of. I actually like applied everything that I learned. And, like I'm out here for a reason. Like, you out here.
Absolutely. You know the scriptures say a man of much travel gains experience. So your travels gain this experience for you to have now. But then now, through your traveling, you travel past us. Proverbs, a man's ways, man's goings are the way of the Lord. So there's no free will.
You know, America is so messed up. It's like the reverse psychology on the civilians. It's like people really feel like God isn't a just God. Like a lot of people really feel like they will be wrong to do something as little as protecting themselves.
Exactly.
It's reverse psychology.
Yes. Yes, because you're in hell, man. Because Esau has created it like this. The elites, this is all by design. Why you think every city you go to, it's the same ghettos, the same stores. It's like a trance. It's like a simulation. Everywhere I go, there's a Chinese salon. The Walmart's the same. Everywhere looks the same. And every ghetto looks the same.
You ever thought about going to Jerusalem?
Where you're in, well, Ezekiel 5:5, you're in Jerusalem right now. Because Jerusalem was a people before it's a place. Now Jerusalem, the actual land, that's going to be destroyed before we can go back. Because there are bastards. There are false Jews that are in that land right now. That's not the real people of God. We're the real people.
So
We will be taken back there.
It wouldn't be a smart thing to actually go to Jerusalem.
No need. No need. Because the Lord told us to wait upon me.
I got it right here.
Read it.
This Zephaniah 3 and verse 8. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey.
To praise these heathens. To praise the ones that have destroyed us. Keep going.
For my determination is to gather the nations.
So the Lord's plan is he's going to gather all these nations, these superpowers. Because we're not a superpower. If we went to Jerusalem, we'd probably be put to death. You know, we'd be exploited.
Kill a lot of Israel, Jews.
Right. But the Lord's going to do that.
Yep.
Keep reading.
And it says-
and the ones that went over there on their own will, thereby toxic waste.
Yep.
They
A
put 'em in the
radiation
worst-
plant.
Yeah, they put them in the worst
Yep.
slum,
Yep.
the worst land.
Yep.
And it says that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them mine indignation,
Yep.
even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
Now the devourer of fire of jealousy is going to be coming through the third war, which is nuclear missiles. So the Bible prophesies that not only this land's going to be destroyed, but our land that was stolen is going to be cleansed through war. And then we will return when we get delivered. That's how we go back. So right now we're in Jerusalem spiritually, instead of carnally in the flesh, in our mind, where like going in jail, like in prison. When you're in prison, you don't, like they have a saying, out of sight, out of mind. So you find a way to handle prison, but up here you're still free. Like you ever see the movie Redemption by Tookie Williams with Jamie Foxx? When he was in solitary confinement, he drew his own windows. He drew the windows, and then that kept him sane, because that prison's meant to break you. And then out here it's meant to break you even more. Like you said, it's all reverse psychology. It's all to play on this. It's all to keep your psyche low so he could prey on you. But now having the scriptures, the Lord, through the Holy Spirit, we're rising up as a spiritual army that they can't touch no more. Because now we're calling upon our God. That's why he told you you're just black. And he said, no, I found out I'm Dominican, because you're more than that. So he hates the fact that you don't identify as just black. The word black means wicked, void of light. Light means understanding. We're in the valley of the shadow of death. This is a valley that we are encompassed in and surrounded by. In so much that you have to remind yourself, I'm not in America, I'm on earth. I'm not just a black man, I'm an Israelite man, and I have a God. I have somebody who's already died for my mistakes, my faults, and my sins, and now I can repent. And now I know the end of this place. We're gonna get out of here. So now him not being able to control your mind, and you know what the future's come, he has no power over you. Now he's got no power over you. So what's left? Him to come in like a flood, him to declare martial law, him to institute a tracking device and force you to take the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip.
Yep.
That's coming soon. They're gonna collapse the dollar. That's why everything's digital, because before you went to jail, life wasn't like this. And then when you came out, things changed. Even the demographics of people changed. Women changed. Women wasn't hoes back then like they are now. Even our people are slowly evolving to a degenerate plant. They're worse now than they were back then. You know, before it was crack, yeah, that was a terrible epidemic, but now it's the Mollies, the Roxys, the Oxys, you know, lean, now that's just acceptable. Rock star lifestyle, painted nails, blonde hair, weirdo niggas, because this is a plan. You know Double XL, the magazine? If you look from 2007 to 2023, you can see the evolution of the demasculation of our men. And now they're throwing up the Conorto. You see that the so-called rock, that's a Conorto. That means allegiance to Satan. But it's called a Conorto. You ever see when they do this?
What does?
Yeah, that's satanic. But for some reason, it used to be in heavy metal, but now so-called black rappers throw it up now.
Because like our blood, like this right here, insane mob game. Depends on what it is.
But
This
you know,
could be MS-13 too. Depends on what it is.
well, what I'm saying is the origin of that, it goes back to a satanic vibration. The Bible speaks about woe to a man that teacheth with his fingers. When you teach with your hands, that's left-handed energy. So
somebody not supposed to teach sign language.
not
I think that's kind of like working.
well, listen. But you're not teaching sign language. You're throwing that up, saying insane mob gang. You're not teaching sign language. That's the energy.
Nah, you just said to teach with the fingers.
Yep.
Like in general, right? Or you talking about something specific?
In the context, when you go back to the origin of people teaching with their fingers, it was for a left-hand side.
Right, to back you up, there's wicked Masonic hand gestures.
Right.
They do, they
Right.
cover the eye, they hide
Right.
their hand. So all of that goes, it carries wicked energy.
Right.
Now, do we have brothers that teach sign language? We do.
Yeah.
They do the same thing we're doing now, but they're teaching it all in sign language. So it's pretty much how you use it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that can be used for good, they use it for evil.
Right.
But like a screwdriver, you could use it to screw a screw, or you could use it to shank somebody. A gun don't kill nobody. It's a person wielding it.
It'd be like
Kills it.
intent, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the energy.
You was in that mind.
The energy. You got a precept for him?
Yep. I'm sorry. You got it.
This is Micah 4 and 10. Book of Micah chapter 4 verse 10 says, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon.
This is Babylon, which Babylon means confusion. Like he said, reverse psychology.
It says, there thou shalt be delivered.
There it is. Yep.
There Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies.
And like he said earlier, it's kind of complex. Like us, if we were all to try to leave, it's not that easy. But that's why he said, I'm going to deliver you out of their hands. Jeremiah 51 and 30,
Gotcha.
the Redeemer, and he refused to let us go. Because you're absolutely right. If I went to the border and I don't have a passport, I'm asked out. So this is why now the Lord is saying,
I can't even get out.
see? But you can.
Get out.
But you can now, though, because now the Lord is introducing you back to him. Now he's saying, hey, I got a way for you to escape, and it's through me. And that's what the Lord wants. He wants us to be like a faithful woman.
Right. See, this world is all about the worship and the feeding of the flesh. Eat, consume, smoke, drink, sex, freak off, Saturday night, Friday night. But what this teaches you is about the spirit. The spirit is way stronger than the flesh. So this is going to build up your soul.
Yeah.
Because when the Lord comes back, your body ain't leaving, your spirit is.
Yep.
A lot of our people, they're going to be trapped here because they're stuck in the flesh.
Yep. They of the flesh mind the things of the flesh. So us saying we're going to get delivered, we're going to be pulled out of here, someone that's just fleshly, like, how? You ain't got a
It don't
plane,
make sense to them.
because they're not thinking past what Babylon's given them. You know, like the Bible speaks about us flying.
Right.
You know, being able to be bit with poison and survive, being able to live without food. Because we got to understand, when you tap in to the right-hand side of the spirit, it's astronomical of the things you can do. Like, you ever see the movie The Matrix? So Neo, he was so open that he was able to fly, unlike the rest of the people.
Right.
But then we find out in the Bible, it says, those that wait upon me shall lift up as wings of an eagle. So, like, hey, you see Kobe, LeBron, they can soar. But the Lord's saying, through me, you can soar even greater. Super strength, you know, things like that is coming for us, because this isn't normal. This average lifestyle we live. That's why even in the flesh now we prevail over the rest of men. You know, on a small scale, I'm saying like sports, because it's greater than that. But it's just, what I'm trying to convey to you is there's more greater coming to us than what you see in the flesh now. This is actually a prison. Just how you were in prison, we've been in prison, you know, but this is a prison too.
Ain't that messed up? You in prison, but you don't even know you're already in the prison.
Yep.
This body.
Yep.
You know, the reason why is because you're susceptible unto sin, and the wages of sin is death.
Yep.
Doing things that you do not want to do.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
But like, perfect in Christ, it's a lot of power, like, within that.
Absolutely.
Perfect in Christ.
Absolutely. Yep.
Stick to the principles.
Yep.
It's like, I watched a movie called The Alternate Universe. It's a real good movie. Like, it's a godly movie. I mean, it's anime.
Yeah.
But I think you should check that out. It really like describes a lot of things. One of the things that I'm dealing with is, you know how God had the Israelites go and fight this battle with his enemy, like Canaanite,
Yeah.
like
Joshua.
Philistines.
Yep.
Yeah, Joshua took over after Moses, Aaron died. Yeah, like, I'm at a point in my life where I've been fighting individuals like that. Like, God, I'm not gonna lie, bro. People like really hate me because I'm doing something good.
Yep. Yep.
Like, I ain't even gonna say doing something. I'm not doing anything but refraining from doing negative things.
You know what it says? It says they think it's strange that you run and not riot with them.
He that departed, making
So I was looking at, I think it's 59. It also says that when a man departs from evil, is it 55? No, it's in Isaiah. You got it, Roddy?
Oh no, I don't have it yet.
Let me see.
I got one real quick though.
Okay, bring that
This
out.
is,
I got one for him too.
This is the book of Psalms. This is the book of Psalms 119 and verse 9. It says, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. With my whole heart have I sought thee. Oh, let me not wander from thy commandments.
Right, so what this word do is it washes you spiritually. It's just a nourishment. It's likened unto water, it's likened unto food, because the man's not supposed to live by bread alone. You know?
But it says, by taking heed to the word, like me, I was real wild in the world. I was born in Syracuse. I was in that shit too. I was in the, I was locked up too. I was all fucked up. So I was living a life of destruction, bro. And I was at my worst point. I was at my worst point when the Spirit allowed me to come across these videos. And then through that, I dropped everything. Drugs, smoking weed. I quit it cold turkey. Because I was like, what? America's going to be destroyed. I'm not black. I'm actually more than that. Salvation's only for us. So it changed me. But what really cleansed me was taking heed.
Well, what do you mean by salvation is only for us?
Salvation is only for the nation of Israel. Yep. But Israel.
Now, when you, because I had a conversation with somebody felt like white people are not susceptible to guys.
Well, I'll say this: Esau's not. Now,
So certain bloodlines, I gotta get the story.
because the Bible says it.
Yeah.
Because the Lord said that He's going to do away with Esau. So if the Lord's going to do away with Esau, how can He get salvation? If the Bible says that Esau can't repent, you
It's a church on Wow. I still haven't been up there, but I'm talking to somebody that go up there and regularly. I know they got a lot of people about like Caucasian, like racists, like they're gonna be destroyed because of what they do to God's people.
well,
Like,
that's true and it's not, because you have some people that look white that are actually Israelites. So just because they look Caucasian don't mean that they are an Edomite. That's why we try the spirit. Like, not every so-called black person's an Israelite.
right.
Africans, not every African's an Israelite, but they're black.
There.
There it is.
Where your faith is at.
That's it. It's your spirit. And really, the faith.
That's why I be trying to tell people, like,
See?
God told the Israelites, right, to be the people out of
Yep.
all of the nations. They
Yep.
was considered the weakest. What made them weak
The
is their
smallest.
faith.
Yep.
That's what made them weak, their faith.
Well, they were the smallest, though, remember? Because they were the fewest. Because remember, you got to look back. All these nations were already established. Like, after Noah, there was who? Ham, Shem, and Japheth, right? Then Ham went, got his land, started multiplying. Japheth started getting theirs, multiplying. But then it went from what? Shem, then it went to Eber, then it went to, who else did it go to? Yeah, it went to Eber, then Abraham. So Israel wasn't conceived yet, but they come from the line of Shem, which ultimately goes back to Seth, to Adam directly. But Israel didn't get established until Jacob. And then Jacob had 12 sons. By the time Jacob had 12 sons, all these other nations was booming and popping. That's why they already had Egypt established. So we were the fewest amongst all these other nations because we didn't get established until the Lord changed Jacob's name to Israel after wrestling with an angel. And then we started off as 12. Then we went to Egypt with only 70 souls, 73 souls. So we were the fewest, 73 people. But then what was it, like 600,000?
So you saying, like, strength is equated to numbers?
No,
absolutely.
nope. Because remember, Elisha said there'd be more with us than with them, but he couldn't see him.
Right.
So our strength does come by our faith. We are a faith-based church. We believe in faith. But we established that the Lord does have a lineage He's dealing with, but we can't identify our lineage carnally. That's why we identify it spiritually through our faith. So if a so-called white person came up and they're vibing what we're saying, we're like, hey, you probably an Israelite, man. This is for you too. So we don't denounce people based off just face value. We go by the spirit.
I had a conversation with somebody. I had to get them like, just because somebody is black, I don't need salvation.
That's true.
It's on an individual basis. Jesus opened the way for everybody. Everybody got an opportunity.
What is what's Jesus? What's his nationality? Yeah.
Nationality?
Yeah.
Israelite.
He's an Israelite. Now, my question to you is, right? Why would if he opened it up for everybody, which I will agree, but I'm going to break that down. Why? If salvation has always been for everybody, why did who we know as Jesus? Why did he come as an Israelite? Why didn't he come as a Canaanite, a Moabite, or even why is it recorded his nationality?
Well, because God gave David a promise that that lineage is going to last forever. Jesus is the only one that can actually like live forever. Like as far as like king wise, like what he did, he crushed that curse for all time.
What curse?
The curse of the flesh, like sin.
Sin. Now sin comes from what? Look, what? How can you sin? Yeah.
Having the knowledge of knowing like what's good and bad and still doing something that's bad.
What do you have to establish what's good and what's bad?
Morality.
More than that.
What?
The law. Right?
Yeah, that's like conscience. Man.
But didn't the Lord...
Everybody is like trusting their conscience.
But in the wilderness, didn't the Lord give the Israelites a law?
Yeah, but if somebody never met the law, if somebody never read the law, they can still be held accountable on their conscience.
Well, not necessarily, because there is a law of ignorance.
That, yeah, to an extent.
So my point is, who you know as Jesus, he came as a sacrifice to give forgiveness for sin, but the only nation on earth that was sinning is those that were given the law, and that's the Israelites. So Esau don't need forgiveness for sin because he wasn't given the law. We as Israelites were given a law that we were bound to, and if we broke that law, the penalty was death. Unless we had a sacrifice that gave us forgiveness, then the Lord said, none of these sacrifices are acceptable. That's why Yahweh Shai, who you know as Jesus, John said, behold, the Lamb of God, because that's the Lamb that God says is acceptable for the children of Israel to sacrifice for the forgiveness of their sin.
To be reconciled. Because the children of Israel became enemies to the Most High.
Right.
But the death of Yahweh Shai made a reconciliation.
Right.
Made a friendly relationship.
Right.
Now when we call upon him, we have access to the Heavenly Father.
Right.
You got a precept?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Real quick. This is Hebrews 7:14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, lineage of David, right? Judah. Of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
Now he says, which Moses spake nothing concerning the priesthood, because it was the Levitical priests that offered up sacrifices for forgiveness of sin. But the ephod.
Right, yep.
But then who you know as Jesus, Yahweh Shai, he was a Judite, but he was able to come on earth and forgive the sins of the nation of Israel. That's why he was an acceptable sacrifice for the nation of Israel, which makes us now the true Christians, because a Christian is right, but the I-A-N makes you of his people. So technically it would be Jesus's people. So we were mocked as Jesus's people. That's why they called us Christians in Antioch. Antioch was known as jeering or ribbing. They would always rib on people. So they were ribbing on us. That's why we're called Christians today. It was out of mockery, because we wholeheartedly believe in Yahweh Shai instead of just the law. Because you had other Israelites that only took the law for face value, and they didn't understand that there was a prophecy that said, I will raise up from among your brethren one that can pardon sin. So it was already told to the Israelites that there was a man coming to pardon just their sins. See? But now, with Esau having the Bible, is he sinning? Yeah. But he don't have a sacrifice to be forgiven. Hebrews 12:16. That's why now Esau, he can't even...
Are you saying Jesus came specifically for the Israelites?
Yes. Yes. And I'm going to tell you why.
I'm going to listen to what
Okay,
you
good. I love that. Real quick, Matthews 1:21, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Yahweh Shai, for his brother listening, because I get it. I get it. I was there too. Matthews 1:21 for him.
This is Matthew chapter 1 and verse 21.
Yup, let's read it slow.
And she shall bring forth a son,
Read it verbatim.
and thou shalt call his name Jesus,
Yup.
for he shall save his people from their sins.
See? So right there, an angel told Mary that she's going to have a son and he's going to save his people So who are Jesus's people? The Israelites. Now, doesn't go to Luke where it says the horn of salvation for Israel.
Yeah,
Yep.
Luke 1, yep.
See, so he's going to save his people because only his people need salvation. Because the wrath came by the law. The law is why we get defeated. That's why we're in captivity now. Is because we went off from the law. So now other nations are over us. Like, okay, case in point, we got over here in America through slavery, right? Now, do you know that that captivity is in the Bible? That prophecy of us being in slavery is actually in the Bible. So us being in America is told in the Bible why that's happening. Because we broke the law. Just like when Jesus said, go and teach all nations. Well, America's a nation. We are in America. You saw, what was that, Coming to America?
Yeah.
He went all the way from Africa to where? Queens.
Yep.
See? Because we're scattered everywhere. So in the spirit, we can go to everybody. But not everybody's going to cleave to the true gospel. The gospel speaks about justice. The gospel speaks about having other nations in captivity. The gospel speaks about Jesus being a man of color. So other people ain't going to take heed to that. Then you know, okay, the gospel's not for you. But just because it's not for them, don't make it not true. Let every word of the Most High be true, but every man a liar.
I'm trying to remember this scripture. You see, I think it's in Isaiah
11.
It talks about Yahweh, Jehovah, Jah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a prophet. He said since the Israelites rejected him, he's going to reject them. He's going to bring up like the people, like the other people.
Yep.
I mean,
You know
they're
what?
going to become his people.
What you're talking about is what Paul reiterated, and that was talking about us as the Gentiles, because we're the nation that makes the Israelites that live by the law angry. Like back in the day, you had the wicked Pharisees and the wicked Sadducees. They were all law. So when Apostle Paul went to Gentile Israelites, like me, I got tattoos. You know, I'm not the typical customed Israelite, Torah only Israelite. So that was who he was going to raise up to vex the Israelites that knew they were Israelites. And that happened in the New Testament. That's why Paul left the synagogue and he said, I'm going to go magnify my office and I'm going to go into the Gentiles.
Yep.
Oh, get that. It says I'll go to the dispersed,
Yep.
the diaspora. Even the Israelites that rejected Jesus, Yahushai, they knew that there were Israelites scattered among the Gentiles. Micah 5, don't it say, Malak, get Micah 5 and 7. It says that the Israel will be amongst the Gentiles. But the Israelites that are amongst the Gentiles are you and me. We don't know. We believe. We just got all this faith. You can't tell me God ain't real, but we don't know the truth. We don't know we're supposed to live by the laws. We don't know that we had customs. We don't even know we're Israelites, but that still don't mean that salvation ain't for you. Salvation's for you because you are an Israelite, even though you're in a Gentile mindset. You got it?
Yes, this is the book of Micah 5 verse 7. And the remnant of Jacob,
The remnant of the Israelites,
shall be in the midst of many people.
the remnant of Israel will be in the midst of many people. Look at this. This is many people. So when you look, Israel's just right there. But through curses and captivity, we've been spread everywhere. So the Lord's saying you got to go everywhere because my people are everywhere. And then in the spirit, wherever they're at, they'll come out of it. But just because they'll come out of it doesn't mean salvation is for the people in that land because they're in that land. See? Like salvation is for the Americans, but what Americans? The black Americans.
The Israelites scattered here.
That, see? So he'll say, hey, go to America and go tell my people. But then the white man said, yup, that means everybody in America can be saved. No.
But just like the Constitution, that wasn't written for the enslaved black. That was written for the white man.
But he said all men are created equal.
Exactly.
But while we're in slavery, see? So read that again from the top.
This is Micah 5 and 7. And the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people,
Yep.
as they do from the Lord.
Oh, as a dew. Did you see that? Look at the water. As the dew. Look at all that. Look at all the dew on here. Like when in the morning it rains, you see all the dew. So the Lord is saying, this is my people on earth. Look at all that. Look at that dew. That's a lot of people. Keep going.
And it says, as the showers upon the grass,
Yep.
that tarrieth not for man, nor waiter for the sons of men,
Yup.
and the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles.
Woo! Read that line again. I need just that line,
It says,
brother.
and the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles.
Gentiles. Boom.
Right.
That's it, Malak. You got the dispersed?
Yep.
Read that now.
This is-
So we just established that Israel will be among Gentiles.
Yep.
Now read this.
This is the book of John, chapter 7 and verse 35. Then said the Jews among themselves,
This is the Jews, the Pharisees.
whither will he go,
Where will Yahushua go?
that we shall not find him?
Yup.
Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles?
Who's the dispersed among the Gentiles? The Israelites. Because if we go to another translation, it says, will he go to the scattered Jews among the Gentiles?
Yep.
So even back then, Israelites knew that their own people were scattered in heathen lands, but they weren't doing shit to go get them. Because they wanted to stay in Jerusalem and be high and mighty. That's why Paul said in the spirit, I'll go get them. I'll go get our people. That's why Yahushua said, I have sheep that are not of this fold that I got to bring forth. We're the sheep. We're the lost sheep that had no idea that we were Israelites. Ain't that heavy?
I got one for you.
Yep.
We got the different translations.
Please.
This is the Bible Hub for John 7:35, the NIV, New International Version. The Jews said to one another, where does this man intend to go that we cannot find him? Will he go where our people live, scattered among the Greeks, and teach the Greeks?
Woo! That's why Paul said to the Jew first and the Greek. Because he knew the Israelites that were amongst the Greek, there's a spirit in them where they can be like, shit, me too. So he wasn't allowing the door to close to them just because they were identifying as a Greek. That's why he was letting it be known. Because you had Israelites that thought that they were just African. My father is African. So I thought I was just African. But then it was like, no, even though your dad thinks he's African, don't mean you are an African. You are an Israelite, brother. I'm an Israelite. Yeah, you're an Israelite. And it's because why? Romans 8 and 16. Because our spirit bears witness. Like yours, your spirit bears witness with this. So this is proving what the scriptures are saying, why he had to go to the Gentiles. Because we're in the midst of the Gentiles. America is the Gentiles. And we're in the midst of it. See?
This is the New Living Translation. The Jewish leaders were puzzled by this statement. Where is he planning to go, they asked. Is he thinking of leaving the country and going to the Jews in other lands?
Woo!
Maybe he will even teach the Greeks.
See? And look, Isaiah 11 and 11. And it shall come to pass in that day, what day? The day of salvation, right? It shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time, like he did in Egypt. Specifically, he brought only his people out. But he's going to do this again. And it says, the second time to recover the remnant of his people Israel, which shall be left from Assyria, from Egypt, from Pathros, from Cush, from Elam, from Shinar, from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. So the Lord said there's a prophecy coming where I'm going to go through all the earth and only pluck up my people like I did before, even though they're in Elam. So when he says, hey, salvation's for Elam, because he's saying his people that are amongst Elam. You see?
It wasn't an island of Pathros, a prison island.
Yep.
So even brothers in prison,
Yep.
gonna be let loose.
Wait a minute. Since you said that, this is why the gospel's for him. Look, he said prison, right? This is Isaiah, one more for you. Isaiah 61 and 1. The Spirit of the Lord power is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. And he said, man, I'm trying to do right. Wolves on me, people on my side. I just, fuck. It says, he has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted. Brothers are broken here. We're broken because of Babylon. We're broken being amongst our people, being cursed, downtrodden, believing in God and the white man monopolizing. We so broken, we still accept that even he could be saved. Then when you open the book, we find out, wait a minute, salvation's only for me, and I was trying to do it for you. He ain't never made salvation just for you. There was a time in chattel slavery where he told you because you were black, you ain't going to heaven. But fast forward to the future, now we so compassionate and kind-hearted, not knowing salvation's for us, we thinking it's also for him. And he's the first one that it ain't for. And it says, to proclaim liberty to the captives.
Yep.
Man, I was locked down. I'm locked down now. I can't even get an ID. I can't even leave this place if I wanted to. And sometimes I feel like leaving, but I can't. That's who the gospel's for. Esau don't want to leave. He's at the border putting barbed wire up to keep niggas out.
Yep.
It says to proclaim liberty, freedom, because we needed liberty also from the law.
Yep.
Because now we found out we're Israelites. We like, look at all these laws. No, you got a golden law to live by. Treat your brother like you want to be treated. Boom, that's all I need. It says to proclaim liberty to the captives and the opening of the prison to them that are bound.
Yep.
So the prison gates are opening. We now tell Xerxes we're free men. We're free now.
Come.
It says to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord. Yo, the Lord's coming back. Repent. The name of the Lord is Yahweh. The name of your Savior is Yahweh Shai, brother. And the Lord's coming back. No man knows the time or day, but he's giving signs. He's giving seasons. We see things happening. We see rumors of war. We see the famine. We see the MOTP coming. We see the pestilence is on its way.
Jesus.
It says to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all that mourn in Zion.
Yep. In Israel.
So the gospel's only for the Zionites, the Israelites.
Yep.
You see that? For you, brother. So the Lord cares about you.
I got one.
Come.
This is
Know what my purpose is.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, shall scatter thee among all people.
And now we got to be brought back. Now we got, because look at the state of us amongst all these people. Look at how we even treated by women, you know? Look at how we're treated by this system. Look how people walk by you. I ain't never had Edomite say, excuse me, or get out my way. I always got to get out their way.
Yep.
But you know why? Because their ass is falling. Would you stand there while a building's falling on you and expect to get out your way? So you know what I do? I get out their way because their ass is about to be gone.
Yep.
We're in a crumbling empire. We're witnessing the Roman Empire fall all over again.
That's right.
So Thawadi Yabashim
Thawadi
Shai
Yabashim
for
Shai,
waking us
Call
up
Yabashim
and allow us
Shai.
to see our enemies crumble
Right.
before us, because we've been getting shit on since the genesis of this place.
Yep.
It says, from the one end of the earth even to the other.
From one end of the earth even to the other. So guess what? You got Israelites in Russia,
Philippines,
Rome,
Japan.
Negritos.
yep. Australia. You got brothers preaching right now in Australia. So-called black men in Australia. Good night, mate.
London.
Right in Australia.
Everywhere.
In London, you know?
Suriname.
Yep.
Mexico. Everywhere.
It says, and there thou shalt serve other gods.
Yep. Christmas, Jesus, Cesare Borgia, Christianity,
Yep.
Islam, Pentecostal.
Seventh-day Adventists.
Yep. All ushered in by the one who enslaved us. Ain't it funny, the same treacherous being that did all this to us is now giving us all the gospel and the good news? You can't trust that.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Boom, the wood, Christianity, stone, Islam. That's why Islam is a prominent religion in prison. And who do you think set that up perfectly? Esau. He knows what he's doing. Why does Arabs, Ishmaels have white tees, ski mask, and weave all on the walls with Bluntvilles and Lucy's? How do they know what to buy and y'all and sell it to? It's a crafty council, and we're it. We're the target. The Israelite man is numero uno. That's why the black woman looks like she's winning. Suzuki, Cardi B, you know? Because he eat just like the serpent used Eve. They're using her all over again, you know?
This is the book of Psalm 83 and verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people
The Illuminati.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
We're the hidden ones. We're hidden. We're actually hidden. Well, I don't know. Everybody got a nationality. Everybody got a country. Where's my country at?
Right.
Where's my government at? Where's my heritage? What's my culture?
How do you feel about going to war against God's enemies?
Well, we're going to war right now, but God's the one that's going to fight for us. Exodus 14 and 14 says, stand still and I shall fight for thee.
Yep.
So we're fighting right now, but in the spirit. We're prophesizing. So we're telling him the judgment.
Don't believe in like actual fighting for what you believe in?
Well, we are physically fighting right now, but not with fists. We're fighting with words, because we have a sword. Hebrews 4:12. Hebrews 4:12. This is a sword right here. So we're wielding our sword right now. That's why our videos get taken down. That's why we get shadow banned. That's why he only shows you get 3-4 views when it could be 3-4 million, 3-4,000. Read it.
The book of Hebrews chapter 4 verse 12. For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful,
Keep going.
sharper than any two-edged sword,
Yep.
piercing even dividing asunder.
So you can knock a nigga out. Bow! But what this does, it touches his spirit.
Yep.
This touches pride. This touches something that the flesh can't reach.
Nerve, yeah.
God don't use his people to fight for what you
He does. And he's gonna. We're gonna, when we get delivered,
not just in the spirit. Not just
no, when we come back down, we're gonna fight. We're gonna take the world back. But it's not our time. Because remember,
you say come back down, what are you referring to?
oh, I'm glad you asked that. So we're gonna come back down after salvation. When the nukes come and hit America, we're gonna be pulled up. 1 Thessalonians 4, we're gonna be pulled up, and then we're gonna change in a twinkling of an eye. 1 Corinthians 15, and we're gonna become new, and we're gonna have a body that's been waiting for us, like Yahweh Shai's new body in heaven. So we're gonna get a new body. The laws are gonna be written in us. We're gonna have everything we had back, because we've been here before. This ain't our first rodeo. You've been here many times. Reincarnations in the Bible. If we be the elect, we've been here since the beginning of time, before the earth was created. So that's gonna come back in our memory. We're gonna have the new bodies. Read it.
Yep. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 17. It says, then we which are alive and remain.
That word remain means survive. The word survive means to live after one's death. Psalms 91, 1,000 on thy right hand, 10,000 on thy left. People are going to be dying in mass numbers around us, but it shall not come nigh thee. Keep going.
And it says, shall be caught up together with them, with them in the
We're
clouds.
going to be pulled up into the chariots of Yasharallah, what you know as UFOs. That's in the scriptures, because it has to be explained. What are UFOs? What are they then? They're not aliens. Alien means stranger. Technically, we're aliens because we're aliens to our commonwealth, which is Israel. So we're going to be pulled up out of here into advanced technology that man could never create. And then we're going to be in there, Isaiah 28 and 8, where we're going to be in the chambers. And then Revelation 15, we're going to be looking down, and we're going to be seeing this bitch on fire, and we'll be praising the Lord, speaking in Hebrew, right? Keep going.
And it says, to meet the Lord in the air.
We're going to be in the same ship with our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai. Keep going.
And so shall we ever be with the Lord.
And then Rev 21, the New Jerusalem's going to come back down on earth, and we're going to start rocking all the nations. Revelations 2 and 28. Revelations 2 and 28.
Yep. I got it.
Yep. We'll read 21 first. New Jerusalem coming down.
Got you. Revelation 21 and verse 2.
Because we're the Jerusalem. So we're going to be New Jerusalem.
I'm sorry from the top.
Yep.
Verse 1, it says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
I saw a new rulership on earth.
For the first heaven,
America,
and
Esau's rulership.
And the first earth were passed away.
Yep.
And there was no more sea.
Yep.
And I, John, saw the holy city.
I saw a holy city.
New Jerusalem.
A new Jerusalem. What? A new Jerusalem. Last one was passed away.
Yep.
Keep going.
Coming down from the Most High.
Coming down. I see the New Jerusalem descending down and holds the army. A new men. Now Rev 2.
Yep.
Now Rev 2. And they're going to come down. And what's this New Jerusalem going to do when they come down?
Yep. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 28. And it says, 26, 27. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
Then they're going to come down and rule with a rod of iron.
As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. And I will give him the morning star.
Go up, 26.
Yep, verse 26. It says, and he that overcometh.
He that overcomes, he that endures to the end.
And keepeth my works unto the end.
The end, right? Jacob's trouble, martial law, a day not like it, mandatory microchipping.
To him.
To the Israelite man.
Will I give.
Yahweh Shai, Jesus said, I'm going to give these Israelite men, my friends,
power over the nations.
So Jesus, Yahweh Shai is going to give us power over these people on earth.
Yep.
Kim Jong-uns, the Donald Trumps, all those that be left, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Gettysburgs, all of them. Read it now.
Yep. It says, to him will I give power over the
I'm going
nations,
to give you power over these people.
and he shall rule them
Yup.
with a rod of iron.
Meaning strict, meaning raw, meaning with rigor.
Yep.
Just like they did us. Jeremiah 30:16. They that devoured thee, ye shall devour them.
right.
I'm going to make you a new threshing instrument and run through their ass. That's coming. That's coming for us, and that's why we're waiting now. That's why we ain't starting nothing now.
Good.
Because Yahweh's disciples said, when they said, will you send fire down on them? He said, you don't know what spirit you in. Then when he was with Pilate, he said, if this was my kingdom, then they will fight.
Right.
When Yahweh comes back, then we could fight. That's when we could fight, brother. So soon we going to...
Right now we're fishing.
I got. Oh, you got it.
This is
Yep.
Jeremiah 16 and verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, said the Lord.
We're fishing. We got this brother right here. Lord's where we're answering all his questions. Everything that he needs answering to, we're going to go into the scriptures, give him a visualization, right? Keep going,
And they shall fish them.
right? Because Israel's scattered. You got to go drop it in the pond. Remember, Yahweh said, throw thy net in the water. It was so many fish that the ship almost sunk. But then also it said you brought in bad and good. So sometimes we have our people that come up that ain't good fish. So they got to be thrown back out. Keep going.
And after will I send for many hunters.
Hunters. Keep
And they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks.
And then we're going to break down the deep underground bases, and we're going to say, you homo sapiens in your guns. We're going to control elements. We're going to control reality. That's what's coming, man. That's what's coming for the princes of power. That's what's coming for the Lord's elect that wait upon him. So I pray that answers your question, brother.
Hey, I want to explain like something that I've been through, man, because I know everybody be having like multiple purposes. And like one of the things, like I said, I did 10 years, but the last 4.5 years, I was in solitary confinement. Now, what I was doing that time, I was fighting against these racist, oppressive, like CEOs.
Yep.
Like, I'm the type of person, man. I don't like injustice. I stand against like
Yep.
the unjust type of stuff.
Yep.
So like all of that, like not feeding this person, burning up medication, spraying this person, killing this person, saying they kill themselves, and like this is important. Watch this. I don't agree with that, so I did a lot of wilding out, man. I caught a lot of assaults. Like that had me on death row and everything. I had an assault on police, I had an assault on cop charge. That got dropped 2 months before I maxed out. Now mind you, this whole time I'm wilding out. Like a lot of people is looking at me like, yo, I never seen this. It wasn't just me, it was me and a couple people. Especially when I was on death row, it's like, yo, I never seen nothing like this before. Like we was giving them all gun smoke. And I actually got out of prison. Like I'm actually here. Like I know. I say all of that to say a lot of people that was like in prison, man, they really feel like they don't have no right to stand up for themselves or, like fight against any type of like oppression. And me, I don't have that problem. Like I'll do it for me, for you, for any of the cops. Beat somebody right here, like I'll walk up to them, gun, fist, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I go put myself in a situation to help that man. That's the type of person I am.
Yep.
And
Can I read a scripture for you?
yeah.
It says, Ecclesiastes 7:7, surely oppression makes a wise man mad. So not everyone can see the oppression that you see. Oppression is the authority with cruelty.
Yep.
So they had authority, but they were executing it with cruelty. And that invigorated you. That made you indignant. Meaning you had righteous anger because this was unjust. The scripture says, Psalm 7:11, the Lord is angry with the wicked every day. So the anger you feel is the anger our God feels. So you seeing that, that's because you're an Israelite. The Lord designed your spirit like us. We get pissed off. We're pissed too. But you saw it, but not all our people see that and are upset. You might be a Reubenite. You might not be
Yeah,
Simeon.
you might be rude.
You know what I mean? Because Reuben is like that, honor, integrity. Because I'm that same way. Yeah, I hate a liar.
So each one of those, they have like specific like traits.
Yes. Yeah. That's why you get, you ever heard of the birthstone? You actually have a tribe stone. Because the 12 months are dedicated around the 12 tribes. Yep. That's the ephod. You got
Genesis
it?
real
Look
quick.
at that. Change.
This is the
That's what
book.
that represents. Change.
Oh wow.
Change.
This
Change. Hey, Sam Cooke said a change is coming. A change is gonna come.
Yep.
We're gonna keep you in our prayers, brother. What's your name? Diesel. We're gonna keep you in our
I came
prayers.
out here for a reason. Like
Yep.
Rochester, man. Like while I was fighting a lot of them cops, like I was seeing. It was even. I was locked up in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
So the stuff, the cops and stuff was getting killed out here. That was making like the local news down in Pennsylvania. Everything.
Yep.
So I'm like, yeah, I gotta go out there.
But Pennsylvania is where? Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. Philadelphia is one of the 7 churches that Yahweh Shai spoke to.
They
Yeah.
super corrupt out there.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I had to go on Rick to so the cops on like something that like I never even heard of before it happened. Like they was taking everybody down to Philly. That was we called a charge in Philly because they indicted like all these corrupt judges and cops and all this stuff. It was like buses full of people just specifically for that. I mean, normally it'd be like multiple buses where everybody going like everywhere.
Yep.
But it was like specifically for that. I was only getting transferred because it was like some emergency type stuff. You know what I mean? And that was the only time I ever seen something like Philly is really, really bad. Like cops be putting stuff on people or saying somebody did something or they did, or they'll over sentence people like severely.
That's why the Lord said he's got a controversy with this land.
That's right.
Because there's no truth nor mercy. See? Because in scriptures, we have laws. Like, there's death penalties. There ain't a law that we got to put you in solitary confinement for 4 years.
Yeah.
That's
cruel.
That's cruel. That's cruel and unusual punishment. But they got
They
judgment
they
coming.
on Eighth Amendment.
They got judgment coming for that. It says, he that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. So all these Edomites that are living off us in captivity, we're going to have their ass in captivity. They going into slavery just like they did it to us because we have a just God. You had a precept, though, you wanted to get for him?
Yeah, real quick about being
They
Reuben.
going to get theirs.
Yeah.
Trust me.
That's what about that.
Yeah.
Like people, man, like
But-
God is just. A lot of people is so messed up in their mind, man.
Yep.
They feel some type of way. Like
Yep.
they don't know what to believe.
You got it.
This is the book of Genesis 49 and verse 3. It says, Reuben, thou art my firstborn,
Yep. Reuben was the firstborn out of all the 12 tribes.
my might.
Yep.
and
Strong.
Yep.
My might. Reuben is his might. And Reuben is the Seminole Indians, the wild ones. Yep. Didn't I say earlier? I said, I was wild. I was wild, bro. Semi-room. We was wild. That's our spirit, though. Keep going.
And it says,
Not ready, not bowing down to shit. I'm not following your trend, and I ain't bowing down to you.
yep.
Right? Everybody wanted to wear Air Forces and button-ups. I ain't doing it. Because that's our spirit. We're going against the grain. Yep. Keep going.
And it says, and the beginning of my strength,
Yep.
the excellency of dignity.
Yep. See? The excellency of, you need to have honor. You need to have some dignity. Carry yourself with some respect. That's the spirit we have. You know, seeing our people. I see a young man sagging like, you know, yeah, pull that pants up, bro. Like, you see our women, like, cover your ass up. You know, you get a daughter, you lock and key. You gonna carry, you ain't gonna be like these wild ass girls out here. You have a son, you're dedicated to raising him right, and it bothers you in the spirit because things ain't being how they supposed to be. We ain't with all that cheating, you know.
Right.
You at the table playing spades, and the nigga keep the little joker, then he plays it twice. That piss you off. Like how you know what I'm saying? Cheating, right? Right?
It's like some people, that's all they whole existence is like scared and getting over on other people.
Exactly. That's why it says, "Oh, wretched daughter of Judah."
Yeah.
You know, because our people
I know
do
in
that.
Proverbs, it talks about like people even understand like if the poor man still defeat himself, he would still have to like be paid like 7 times. That's something that's understandable. But some people, they don't just do things because they're in need. They do it because they're fully corrupted.
Greed.
Like, yeah, greed.
You know who does that?
That's what it is.
You know who does that? The so-called white man.
I-
And now our people do it.
Yep.
He's doing it to all of us. Then we have people on the ground level doing it to others.
Like that's how you supposed to.
Right.
That's why, like even out of slavery, like the Willie Lynch syndrome.
Yep.
They teach you how to live
Stockholm.
messed up.
Yep. Black skin against light skin. Now he made a good point, which that's in Jeremiah, which he literally said. It says, if the grape gatherers, wouldn't they leave some grapes?
yeah.
But he takes it all. Look at, why ain't no fruit on these trees? We should have fruit on these trees for us. But you gotta go to Walmart, Wegmans. How you putting tax on a banana?
Right.
This shit growing from the ground, baby.
Outside, you're supposed to leave stuff for the poor people to glean.
That's an Israelite. Now he said, look at this. This is Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, talking about Esau. Also because he transgresseth by wine. Wine represents like a doctrine, a philosophy. And then you drink it up. Like this. This is a wine we're giving you. It's a new wine. I never heard this before. So not everyone can drink this wine spiritually. But he has a wine that we've all drunk. Go to college, MBA, Ja Rule. Like, you know what I mean? The typical shit. And our people are drunk off that. Ratchet. Hot girl summer. That's all the shit he's got them drunk. And it says, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Well, he stole America. Now he's got 294 embassies all throughout the world. Now countries are kicking him out of their land because they're saying, you ain't doing nothing for us. So this is his characteristics. And it says, he enlargeth his desire as hell. So when what he desires, when he gets it, you're in a hell-like condition. I'm worse off than from the beginning when I asked you to help me. He created third world countries. You want to know why Africa in certain parts is known as third world? Because you turn a place into a third world after a war. And you fight in that land, destroy the geography of it, and now they can't rebuild. That's what he's done. And then look, it said, oh, and then Kamala Harris punk ass went to Uganda talking about we need more rights.
Yep.
You got Philadelphia doing the mannequin challenge on drugs, but you going all the way to Uganda to push a rainbow flag on the people. It says, it says, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death. Roll up your sleeve. Here, let me give you some. It's going to help you out. Now everyone's dying from it. It says, and cannot be satisfied. You're on the money. You own the banks. You own Sony. You own the record company. You own us. You got America and you still ain't satisfied? This is the type of demon we're dealing with here. And it says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations. Little Italy, Chinatown, right? The Pan-Africa, everybody's here. Why do East Indians own all the gas stations? Why do Arabs own the corner stores? Why do Chinese own the Chinese, right? Because he's heaping them all here while we're still at the bottom. And it says, gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So that's the spirit of Esau. He gathereth, he don't leave nothing, he don't share. He'll give you something, but he ain't gonna let you be equal with him. This is the level of the relationship of who's ruling over us. This is what we gotta deal with. That's why when you go to work, he gives you minimum wage. But you've never found a job where you find out what's maximum wage. If you go up in there in the interview and say, oh, okay, so 1550 is what I'm gonna get started with, just curious, what's maximum wage? Next, Enrique, I'll hire you, 1350. And then he's all up in there with no problem. We'll never get maximum wage, but the only time he gives you max is a super max when he's sending you in prison. But when it comes to a pay, he ain't hiring to get you millions. He's hiring you to give him millions. It's perpetual slavery here.
I got a quick one. This is the book of Psalm 73 and verse 7. Psalm 73 and verse 7, it says, their eyes stand out with fatness.
I gotta get it. Give me it. Biting, scratching for it, thieving for it, stealing for it. The Gad, remember he said, we're government, we're gonna here to help you. He said, did you buy it? Did you pay for it? They didn't buy or pay for the land of America, but they were desirous. That's why they call it manifest destiny. He said it's God's intention to have us rule from sea to shining sea. California was known as North Mexico at one point in time. You know? And now you got white people talking about get off my land and make me a taco. You know?
Speak
the
English.
audacity. Speak English when you had the Spanish here. Cortez, you had Spanish here. Columbus, you had the Spanish speaking Spanish, Now they talk about speak English. When you force that language on us, our people are so messed up. One identifies as a color, black, and the other identifies as a language, Spanish. That's how messed up we are because of him. Him downstairs. He did this.
Devil. Fucking devil, man.
Devil, bro.
I appreciate talking.
We appreciate you
No
too,
doubt.
brother.
Roll out. Man, y'all know what we over here?
Saturdays, Lord's will, 1 to 3.
Saturday.
Yup, Saturday, 1 to 3.
Appreciate talking.
Yup.
Bro,
Yup.
y'all doing a good job out
Yup.
here, man.
Hey, you too, brother. You keep it up, man. Yup.
Shalom.
Shalom, brother. Read your precepts.
Psalm 73 and verse 7, it says, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish.
We got more than heart could wish, man. You know, this devil got the whole world in his hand, but we want islands with little children on it.
Yep.
Millions of children go missing each year because of this damn devil.
When they say he's got the whole world
Yeah.
in his hands, and that world's Israel. I'm sorry.
And he's not even satisfied with that. He wants to put something inside of you so he can have control over you and lock your ass in a 15-minute city like a rat in a hamster wheel, man.
Yep. Verse 8, it says, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression.
You know how they do that? Christianity. Hey, that brother at first came up and thought salvation was everybody through the Spirit. I don't believe he think that no more.
Nope.
Right.
Like, matter of fact, I don't agree with that.
Changed my mind.
I-
Convinced the gangsters.
Yep.
Just call lawyer out by
Lawyer
shit.
out by shit.
You know, he was
Like
a
how,
sheep.
I like how you said, no, I'm gonna let you just go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he
how
was,
it's,
he was
yeah.
meek.
Me.
You know,
Yep.
he
Yeah.
came up in the right spirit, confessed the name unto him.
Yep.
Lord willing, he'll come back and
Always
build.
will. And he said it. He said, man, I know my purpose now.
Hey, check this out. My brother said Stevie Wonder tried to leave America in the 1970s, but the FBI stopped him.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
wow. Damn.
He said, go this way. Yeah. He said, yeah, Nicaragua's right over here. He said, Burger King? That's messed up, bro.
That's wow. That's crazy, bro.
Back in Psalm 73 and verse 8, and it says,
And we pray you brothers and sisters are edified
Yeah.
too, you know,
Yep.
and you're fed
Yep, for
through
real.
the Holy Spirit, you know?
yep. And Shalom, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'asher, and Kawadash, Brakadam. Shalom.
Like that.
And it says, they speak loftily, they set their, I'm sorry. They speak loftily, they set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth.
Right, and that's them, you know, having authority to pass laws and legislations. Like the brother said earlier, Kamala trying to go to Uganda and bring that alphabet shit over there. They're not with that. They're charging people with aggravated H word, man. You can't even say too much because they'll take the video down. But other nations are rising up against this country. I believe you have 21 nations coming together to dish the dollar.
In 2023,
It's a wrap for this place, man.
because it's about to be 2024
Yeah.
In a couple of months,
in,
yeah.
in America,
Right, right, according to this,
according
man.
to this man.
You know?
No, I got half past 8.
Right.
You on Mars and shit. You know what I mean? No, like the pride, that proves he's got to be done away because if not, he's going to try to push his wine on you. Esau is the epitome of Deuteronomy 13.
Well, he's a bad fruit. If you got a bad fruit, he's going rotten. You put it with the other fruit, it's going to contaminate those fruit.
That's true.
That's what Esau is doing in the earth. He's fucking contaminating everything he touches.
That's why the nations are mad.
And that's why it says in Isaiah, prepare slaughter for his children,
Yep.
that they do not rise nor possess their land.
Right.
Because the other day, me and the bro were at the store, and this Edomite woman was on her phone, and she walked in front of Kratazah, and we used to it. You know, I smiled, because I thank the Lord I wasn't angry. Because I get indignant. I get angry a lot dealing with this place, but then you learn how to deal with it. So I thank the Lord that I said that I wasn't upset seeing the typical Edomite behavior, but right behind her, she walked right by crowds like this, didn't say excuse me, got out of her way. I was watching like an angel. I was watching, and then right behind her was a little ass tadpole right with her. So I'm like, look, monkey see, monkey do. So all he's gonna do is replicate what he saw mommy do. So if you don't do away with that, he's gonna grow up and do that. Big devil, little devil.
Yep.
It's the same thing. Keep going.
And I'm going to jump down to verse 12. Of Psalm 73 and verse 12, it says, behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world, they increase in riches. That was it. Then I'm
In
gonna
the spirit she knew.
Yeah.
In the spirit she knew.
I noticed she was smiling when she see all this, when she see the on the horns on Christ.
That's that nervous smile. I got one.
Plastic smile.
Yeah.
That's what Benjamin says. The plastic smile.
This second Esdras chapter 6 and verse 7.
Beautiful, beautiful. We can end it here.
Okay. Second Esdras chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
Right, because this is the question that all the prophets wanted to know. When's the end going to be?
Mm-hmm.
You know, pretty much when's is going to be our turn?
Yep.
You know?
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac.
Right, and Isaac shall thy seed be called. Not Ishmael, not the other sons that Abraham had.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even mention them.
When Jacob and Esau were born of him.
But it does mention Jacob and Esau. But only one of them were chosen.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But salvation's for everyone.
Right.
So why is the dividing of times Jacob and Esau's mentioned?
Right.
You know? There's not enough evidence to back up salvation's for everyone when you read the entirety of the scriptures.
Yep.
So two nations always going at it. Like the movie Demolition Man. You got Wesley Snipes and you got the cop, you know?
Yep.
Phoenix.
And it says, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
So they had, when you go to Genesis, it says there was trouble in her womb.
Mm-hmm.
So they were actually, those spirits was tussling in the womb.
Enmity.
Hatred, war, beef. You know? During the time of Yahushua and John the Baptist.
Yep.
The both sides, both sides, both sides, both sides,
How you
both
doing?
sides, both sides, both sides, both sides, both sides.
Shalom. Yep.
During the time of John the Baptist, when because John and Yahushua are cousins, they were saluting each other in the womb.
Yep.
But Jacob and Esau, they were fighting in the womb.
Right.
Tussling.
You know?
And it says, verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world.
He's the end. And this got to be the end. Call lawyer. This is the end of the world as we know it.
Yes.
You
And
know?
we feel fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like when Kobe made that shot.
Yeah. Yep.
Motherfucker. That's how we feel, man. And that was good that brother came up. Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Diesel, that's
He
his
has
name.
great questions. You know?
He's just a warrior. You can tell in his spirit. He just wants to fight against injustice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of our people, they don't really know how to do it.
Yeah.
But this is the correct way to go about it.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, this is the real Hebrew Defense Unit. The
Right.
Lord.
Right.
The Lord. Y'all seen that?
Yeah.
That fucking agent.
Yeah.
Man, he went to pull the gun out and the FBI card fell out.
Wow.
Like, no, it didn't. But like, you know what I mean? It was so blatant.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's Esau behind the camera.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you think you know what? Whoever falls for that, that's your judgment.
Yeah.
That's your, because that nigga looked Somali. He looked related to the bitch that got hit with the brick.
Somebody put a picture on him. Somebody got on him dancing out
With Amalek.
black.
Yeah. I seen that. Yep.
He set up.
Yep. And it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
And that's the gospel right there. That we're in the end of the world, but our world is not ending. We're just beginning.
Yep.
Right now, what you're witnessing is the rebuilding of the third temple.
That's right.
Each brother being a special brick to go towards that building. Yahushua being the chief cornerstone. Esau going down. America's going to be destroyed with nuclear fire.
Mm-hmm.
The elect is going to be pulled out of this place. Then, like we were going into earlier, New Jerusalem is going to come down and rule forever.
That's right.
Under Yahushua, man.
That's right.
144,000 to 1/3. Esau, your punk ass going into slavery
That's
for
right.
1,000 years.
That's right.
Other nations, you going into slavery for 1,000 years, right? Then after that, Esau, you're gonna be wiped out.
Yep.
Right.
But
Completely.
the other nations, we're gonna give you your land back, but you're gonna be tributaries forever, man.
Mm-hmm.
Perpetual tributary, and your ass, you're gonna do what we say, man.
Yep.
Yep.
And you're gonna serve our power. You know.
Yep.
Got you brothers good.
Good.
Yep.
With that, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua Ba'Shem Kakadash.
double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect.
Shalom.
Woo.